To get revenge on her cheating boyfriend, this woman actually went after his uncle, playing out a real-life version of Betray Me and I'll Become Your Aunt. In a hotel room, a man and woman were entangled. The woman pulled the man's tie, her tone extremely provocative. What do you think would happen if Jiang Lin found us doing this, my fiancé's uncle? Hearing these provocative words, the man rolled over and pressed her down. He'd probably be happy. After all, he wants me to take good care of you. Though not the kind of care he had in mind. The next day, Bai Pu was awakened by a phone ring. It was Jiang Ling looking for Bai Pu. Half asleep, Bai Pu gave his room number. The next second, he came to his senses. Bai Pu almost freaked out. He was in Lu Zhao's room. His room was across the hall, and his revenge plan hadn't even started. He couldn't let Jiang Ling discover his affair with Lu Zhao so soon. In his panic, Bai Pu realized his underwear was missing. Whether from last night's intense passion or Lu Zhao's fetish, he wasn't sure. He had no time to think about it. He had to change and leave, even without underwear. He finally made it to his room before Jiang Ling appeared. But when he checked his pocket, he was shocked. The room key was gone. Just then, Jiang Ling appeared and hugged her, saying, "Sorry, baby. I had company business yesterday and couldn't come see you right away." He earnestly promised Bai Pu he wouldn't make her angry again. Looking at the man who seemed to love her deeply, Bai Pu's desire for revenge exploded. Before yesterday, she thought Jiang Ling was just a mama's boy, until she witnessed Jiang Lin's incest with his stepmother. That's when she clearly realized she was just Jiang Lin's ATM. She wasn't a saint and wouldn't let her 7 years go up in flames. So she planned revenge with her bestie to get together with Lu Zhao. She didn't expect Jiang Lin to come find her today, acting as loving as before. She wanted to see his regretful face. But now Jiang Lin wanted to take Bai Pu to meet his uncle. Bai Pu suddenly felt a chill below, going commando to meet Lu Zhao and with Jiang Lin too. This was too exciting. Her fiancé of 7 years was fooling around with his future mother-in-law. That night, the female lead played intimate games with her fiancé's uncle. As night fell, in a luxury hotel, a handsome couple was having an earth-shattering encounter in their room. The handsome man was caressing the woman from top to bottom. The woman cooperated, ready to deepen their connection, grabbing his tie. The man responded with wandering hands. The woman pulled off his tie, then unbuttoned his shirt. Just as the man was about to make his move, the woman grabbed him with her delicate hands and said coyly, "What would happen if Jiang Ling found us doing this, my fiancé's uncle?" As soon as she finished speaking, his belt fell to the floor. This woman had truly mastered her technique. She then rolled over on top of the man, performing mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Then the man took control, holding her down with both hands. "He'd probably be happy," he replied. "After all, he wanted me to take good care of you." Their bodies intertwined, creating a hormone-filled scene. The woman was Bai Pu, who had fought with her fiancé and left in anger. The man was her fiancé's uncle, invited to take care of her. He was certainly taking thorough care of her. The next morning, a phone rang beside them. It woke up Bai Pu, who was exhausted from last night's activities. Bai Pu answered the phone and heard an urgent voice saying, "Which room are you in? I'm here to see you." Half asleep, Bai Pu mumbled 301. The caller said, "Wait for me, I'll be right there." Before Bai Pu could say anything else, the caller hung up. Only then did Bai Pu realize it was Jiang Lin's voice. "Damn, I forgot my room is across the hall." This was Lu Zhao's room, Jiang Lin's uncle. No good. Before she could properly start her revenge on Jiang Lin, he couldn't discover her intimate relationship with his uncle. Wrapped in a towel, Bai Pu got up to look for her clothes. She discovered that due to last night's intense passion, her underwear had disappeared. Could the uncle have some special fetish? Never mind, time was urgent. Better put on the dress first. After dressing, she rushed outside. Arriving at room 301, she realized she'd forgotten the key card. Suddenly, a baby told her Jiang Lin had arrived. Jiang Lin walked over and hugged Bai Pu, saying, "Sorry, babe." He explained about yesterday's work and promised not to make her angry again. Looking at the seemingly loving man before her, until yesterday, she thought he truly loved her. Until yesterday, when she discovered her fiancé was fooling around with his future mother-in-law. Hearing Jiang Lin's sweet talk now, Bai Pu's stomach turned with disgust. She was still thinking about the revenge plan she discussed with her bestie, getting together with his uncle. Seeing Bai Pu lost in thought, Jiang Lin suddenly put his arm around her shoulder. "It's getting late, and you must be hungry. Let's go eat and meet my uncle." Bai Pu was shocked. "What? Meet your uncle?" Bai Pu thought to herself, "I just got to know your uncle very intimately last night, and he might still have my underwear. Gonna meet him like this with Jiang Lin? This is way too intense. To get revenge on her fiancé, Bai Pu was actually going commando to a banquet. How outrageous. Just now, when Jiang Lin hugged Bai Pu and mentioned meeting his uncle, she was still worrying about it. In no time, Jiang Lin brought Bai Pu to the gathering. Seeing so many people, Bai Pu nervously asked, "Wasn't it just supposed to be your uncle? Why are there so many people?" Jiang Lin comforted her. "Don't be nervous. They're all uncle's colleagues. He's retiring, so they're here to send him off." He then helped Bai Pu to her seat, showing perfect gentlemanly manners, and said apologetically, "Sorry we're late," and kept everyone waiting. "I'll drink 3 glasses as punishment." Bai Hu sat down, feeling embarrassed as she noticed the uncle staring at her from across the table. However, someone at the table deliberately teased, "You had such an early flight, yet you came so late. Did you spend some sweet time with Bai Pu?" I noticed she's walking a bit awkwardly. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone at the table stared at Bai Pu. Bai Pu awkwardly replied, "It's a bit cold today, so I'm not walking very steadily." But they continued, saying these two were interesting. One seems overly possessive, while the other looks sexually frustrated. Jiang Lin foolishly said, "Uncle has been sexually frustrated for ages. In all my years, I've never seen him stay with any woman for more than 3 days." Another person chimed in, "That's strange, because last night I heard a woman in Lu's room. She was quite loud. I thought I was having a wet dream. It went on from 9 p.m. until 2 to 3 a.m. It kept me up all night in agony." Bai Hu thought to herself, "Around 9 p.m., that's exactly when I entered Lu Zhao's room. Damn, they all found out. I always thought Uncle didn't like women, which is why I kept my distance all these years." Jiang Lin continued foolishly. Lu Zhao casually remarked, "I indeed don't like women. They're too expensive." The others laughed. "What's that supposed to mean? Was last night's woman free?" Lu Zhao smiled slightly. "Technically, she was the one who picked me up." Hearing this, Bai Pu cursed internally. Bastard, taking advantage and still showing off. The crowd continued pressing for details. Where did she come from? How was she? Could they get an introduction? They complained about their own dry spells. Bai Pu couldn't take it anymore and quickly stood up, saying she needed to use the bathroom. She hurriedly left while Lu Zhaohe watched her go, feeling very conflicted. A moment later, Bai Pu arrived at the bathroom. She quickly messaged her best friend, asking if Lu might have some special fetish. Otherwise, why couldn't she find her underwear? Her friend replied that she should focus on buying new underwear first, or it would be too embarrassing. Bai Pu suddenly remembered she wasn't wearing any. She hurriedly went out to buy some. Coming out, she saw Lu Zhaohe leaning against the wall, smoking. This caught her completely off guard. Bai Pu thought she'd pretend not to see him and just walk past. But Lu Zhaohe suddenly blocked her path. Bai Pu thought, sure enough, can't escape. All men are the same. She awkwardly said, "What a coincidence Uncle came to smoke." Lu Zhaohe coolly put out his cigarette. He calmly replied, "No coincidence. I was waiting for you. Why are you still wearing last night's clothes?" Bai Pu thought, what else could I do? And angrily said, "My key card is in your room. I couldn't go back to change." Lu Zhaohe stared at her intently. "Is that why you're going commando?" So Lu Zhaohe did take her underwear. He really did have this special fetish. Just now, when Uncle blocked Bai Pu, he asked about her going commando. Bai Pu looked at Lu Zhaohe awkwardly, feeling innocent. "This is all because of you, you old pervert, secretly taking my underwear." The next second, Uncle threw her a pink pair of underwear. "Hurry up and put these on. Isn't it breezy and cool without them?" Bai Pu took the underwear, thinking Lu Zhaohe definitely had a special fetish. Lu Zhaohe started explaining that it accidentally got mixed in with the clothes. Bai Pu thought, "I don't believe you. You're just an old pervert." She quickly ran into the bathroom. After putting them on, she looked in the mirror and sighed with relief. She grabbed some tissue paper and started wiping her hands. "So he just left after sleeping with me. He really is a cold-hearted playboy who goes through women without getting attached. I guess I'm just another casual encounter to him. But it doesn't matter. As long as I can get revenge on Jiang Ling, nothing else matters." Back at the restaurant, everyone started teasing when they saw Bai Pu. "Something's going on. Better confess while Bai Pu's here." Jiang Ling showed his phone to Bai Pu. "It's my mom calling. She's checking up on us." Bai Pu coldly looked at Jiang Ling, thinking, "I know exactly why you're so gentle with mother. After all, you two are having an affair. In reality, they weren't biological mother and son. Jiangling was just adopted by Xinlu. The marriage was just a cover-up, using their mother-son relationship to hide their inappropriate relationship. Bai Pu smirked, thinking it wouldn't be that easy. Her revenge game was just beginning. Jiangling was completely unaware of all this. The next moment, he pulled Bai Pu close. Looking at Bai Pu lovingly, he said slowly, "With our Bai Pu here, what else do I need? Right, my dear?" Even more outrageously, he tried to kiss her in front of everyone. Looking at this hypocrite, Bai Pu felt disgusted. She pushed Jiangling away. The others teased that Bai Pu was just being shy. One of them said if Bai Pu wasn't so reserved, they would have thought she was the woman in Lu's room last night. The voice was so similar. At these words, Bai Pu nervously looked at Lu Zhaoa. Jiangling looked at Bai Pu in disbelief, asking, "Dear, it wasn't really you, was it?" The room fell silent. Everyone looked at Bai Pu. Bai Pu angrily asked Jiangling, "Are you sick or something?" They stared at each other. Then Jiangling gently stroked Bai Pu's head. "I'm just teasing you. Why so serious? My dear is so cute." Bai Pu felt disgusted by Jiangling's touch. Just then, Lu Zhaoa called out and threw car keys to Jiangling, breaking the awkward moment. "We're out of wine. Go get 2 more bottles from my car." Jiangling tried to get Bai Pu to come along. Bai Pu refused, saying the parking garage was too cold. He showed off his gentlemanly manner before leaving. Watching Jiangling's retreating figure, Bai Pu thought, "He makes me sick. I can't take it anymore. Have you ever had an affair in a car?" A phone call came in. "What would you do?" Just now, Bai Pu had refused Jiangling, so he went alone. Lu Zhaoa raised his glass with everyone. Suddenly, he put down his wine glass. Standing up, he said, "I have something to do. I'll head out first. You all keep drinking." After saying goodbye to his colleagues, he called Bai Pu to leave together. Bai Pu thought, "What is this old pervert planning now?" But she still nodded instinctively. Next moment, Lu Zhaoa took Bai Pu to the underground parking garage. Bai Pu curiously asked, "Uncle, are we in the wrong place?" Jiangling is on B2. Lu Zhaoa didn't respond to Bai Pu, grabbed her hand, and opened the car door. Ignoring Bai Pu's resistance, he pushed Bai Pu onto the car. Bai Pu frantically questioned, "What are you doing?" Lu Zhaoa pounced like a hungry wolf, and things became inappropriate for children. Bai Pu shouted, "Uncle, Jiangling will come looking soon. He'll find out." Lu Zhaoa smirked at Bai Pu. "Let him find out then." His hands continued to roam freely up and down. Just then, Jiangling called. Lu Zhaoa showed a wicked smile. He answered the phone, then tossed it aside. He resumed his advances, his hands continuing to caress Bai Pu. Lu Zhaoa was like a hungry wolf, desperately savoring the delicacy before him. On the phone, Jiangling said he had an important client meeting and would come find them later. Hearing this, Uncle immediately unbuckled his belt. He whispered to Bai Pu, "If you don't speak up, we'll be discovered." His hands continued exploring below. Bai Pu, feeling restless, could only shyly respond "okay" to Jiangling. Then Lu Zhaoa shifted gears and stepped on the gas. The car began shaking rapidly. After intense movements, they reached their climax 3 minutes early. Lu Zhaoa lit a cigarette while Bai Pu touched up her lipstick. Lu Zhaoa thought there's no such thing as a free lunch and asked, "What do you want from me?" Bai Pu smiled and said, "I want to marry you." At these words, Lu Zhaoa was speechless. He glanced sideways at the phone, playfully asking, "Don't you find this thrilling?" Bai Pu didn't mind at all, smiling and saying, "That's fine. I'm willing to do anything as long as I can be with Uncle." Lu Zhaoa frowned and told Bai Pu to get out 3 times, thinking this was getting too intense. Bai Pu remained unfazed. She got up to leave the car, then turned back with a grin saying, "Uncle, didn't you say the taste was ordinary? But you seem to enjoy it quite a bit, almost drooling all over." She left, swaying her sexy figure. Watching Bai Pu leave, Lu Zhaoa thought this woman was interesting. For revenge, Bai Pu had already installed a tracker on Jiangling's phone. Following the location, she arrived at Dahan Temple. There she saw Shun Lu, Jiangling's mother. So Jiangling was indeed with this special client. As a dutiful wife, I should do my part to help him. She walked straight up to Xinlu. Xinlu was startled to see Bai Pu. After composing herself, she quickly said, "Why are you here?" Jiangling just said you weren't feeling well, and he was going to get you a blessing charm. Bai Pu smirked. "I used to think he really cared for me, was good to me, and I was satisfied. But who would have thought? Mother and son could get together like that." At this moment, Xinlu handed Bai Pu one of 2 milk teas. Bai Pu coldly stared at Xinlu. Xinlu asked Bai Pu, "Are you angry with Jiangling because of me?" Bai Pu was startled. Could she have found out? Bai Pu, demanding to live with Jiang Ling, was preparing for a big move. Just now, during their chat, Bai Pu thought Shen Lu had discovered and knew about their relationship. But Shen Lu's next words made Bai Pu realize she just thought Bai Pu was jealous because Jiang Ling was a mama's boy who was too close to his mother. Bai Pu smirked, thinking, "You two think you're so perfect together." Then she said, "Though you're a single-parent family and mother-son closeness is normal, what daughter-in-law wants to live with her mother-in-law, especially when the husband always sides with his mother? Rather than endure such a life, it's better to separate early and cut losses." Hearing this, Shen Lu was calculating in her mind, so she held Bai Pu's hand, saying she truly liked her as a daughter-in-law and sincerely hoped they would marry and have children. She also promised that if Bai Pu forgave Jiang Ling, she wouldn't live with him anymore and wouldn't even see him unless necessary. Bai Pu glanced at Jiang Ling in the distance. She said, "Fine. Doesn't Jiang Ling have another small apartment? You move there. I want to live with Jiang Ling. We'll try living together for a while. If Jiang Ling doesn't change, I'll cancel the engagement and withdraw my family's investment from his company." Shen Lu could only helplessly agree, saying, "Whatever you say, I won't interfere anymore." Bai Pu smiled, thinking the show was just beginning. Just then, Jiang Ling walked over. Seeing Bai Pu, he froze in place. Next moment, he smiled and pulled out a safety charm from his pocket, saying, "Didn't you mention earlier that the project you're investigating might be dangerous? I specifically got this charm for you." Bai Pu remained silent after hearing this. Seeing Bai Pu's silence, Jiang Lin continued explaining, "My mom was worried about me bullying you, so she came with me. I wasn't meeting any clients. I came here to pray for you after the business dinner." Bai Pu couldn't stand watching their act anymore and stepped forward saying, "Jiang Lin, let's live together." At these words, Jiang Ling instinctively looked at Shen Lu. Currently, all three people had their own hidden thoughts. After a while, Jiang Ling pretentiously said, "Really? That's great. I've been waiting for this day for 7 years. I'll go pack my things right away." But Bai Pu pushed Jiang Ling away. "No, I'll move to your place." Jiang Ling was surprised. "What about my mom?" Bai Pu just said, "Annie can live in your other apartment. We'll help her furnish it later." Seeing Jiang Ling's silence, Shen Lu feared their plan would fail and stepped forward saying, "That's right, I'll move out." "Jiang Ling, you're grown up now and can't always live with mom. You need your own life." Bai Pu inwardly smirked at Jiang Ling. Since his mother said so, he had to play along. "All right then, we'll do as you say. As long as you're happy." He affectionately patted Bai Pu's head. Then they both looked at Shen Lu, thinking the only unhappy one would be her. They deliberately linked arms, saying, "It's getting late, let's go shopping," showing off their affection. She also asked Jiang Ling to take some beautiful photos of her. Watching their intimacy, Shen Lu was furious and unconsciously broke her freshly done manicure. Her expression turned hideous. Seeing Shen Lu's expression, Bai Pu thought, "You're finally losing control." She deliberately asked, "Annie, what's wrong?" Shen Lu couldn't bear watching their affection anymore and said, "I'm a bit tired. You two go ahead, I'll rest at the hotel." Jiang Ling anxiously offered, "Let me take you back," but Shen Lu waved her hand, "No need." At this moment, Bai Pu watched them with a satisfied smile. Bai Pu and her young uncle's secret was almost exposed. Just now, Bai Pu deliberately showed affection in front of her fiancé's mother, driving her away. Soon they arrived at the hotel, and Jiang Ling felt something was off about Bai Pu today. Just then, Jiang Ling's phone rang. It was Song Li inviting them for drinks at a bar. Jiang Ling asked if Bai Pu wanted to join. Hearing Song Li's name, Bai Pu thought maybe Lu Xiaohe, that old pervert, would be there too. She definitely wanted to go, thinking something might happen, so she agreed with Jiang Ling. In no time, they arrived at Black Hawk Bar. As soon as they entered, Bai Pu saw Lu Xiaohe and excitedly opened her mouth. Lu Xiaohe also stared intently at Bai Pu when he saw her. The sparks between their gazes immediately caught Song Li's attention. She teased, "Bai Pu, why are you staring at Brother Lu? Do you two have some secret?" At these words, Jiang Ling immediately stared at Bai Pu. Bai Pu was momentarily lost for words, and Jiang Ling chuckled. He turned to Song Li and said slowly, "Are you crazy? What nonsense are you talking about? That's my young uncle." Song Li smiled, raising her glass. "I was just joking. Come, have a drink. Let me make it up to you." Then she handed Bai Pu a glass of wine. Jiang Ling showed concern for Bai Pu and quickly blocked it, saying she couldn't drink. Song Li continued, "Today is Brother Lu's retirement party. He brought out wine he's been collecting for over 10 years. Little Bai Pu, won't you have a little?" Hearing it was Lu Xiao's wine, Bai Pu took the glass, saying, "Then I'll have some." Meanwhile, she secretly glanced at Lu Xiaohe. Looking at his handsome, cold face, she instantly recalled their previous intimate encounters. Thinking that drinking tonight might lead to another intimate moment, she took a big gulp of wine. Just as she was about to toast Lu Xiaohe, that old pervert coldly said, "No need to toast me. I don't plan to drink with you." Bai Pu didn't mind and smiled. Young uncle misunderstood. "I wasn't planning to drink with you either. I'm just thirsty." Lu Xiaohe smirked and called to Song Li. "She said she's thirsty. Can you stand that?" while tapping his wine glass. Song Li immediately perked up. "Of course not." She opened several more bottles of wine, saying, "Little Bai Pu, I'll drink with you today. I'll make sure you're not thirsty." Then the two began drinking freely, one glass after another, drinking quite contentedly. Soon Bai Pu's face was flushed red, and she asked Song Li, "Why are you just watching and not drinking?" Lu Xiaohe hasn't had a single drop. Song Li pointed at Lu, saying he doesn't drink. Hearing this, Bai Pu covered her mouth and laughed. He can't drink? He had several glasses of wine last night. At these words, everyone fell silent. All eyes turned to Bai Pu. Bai Pu's heart skipped a beat. The secret might not be kept anymore. Then Jiang Ling asked, "How do you know young uncle was drinking last night?" Song Li, eager to stir up drama, continued asking, "Little Bai Pu, were you with Brother Lu last night?" "But wait, Brother Lu had a woman in his room last night." "Oh my God, could that woman have been you?" Bai Pu had to explain, "When I went to young uncle's room last night, I just saw empty wine bottles and glasses on the coffee table." Jiang Ling seriously asked, "Why did you go to his room?" Bai Pu explained that the bathroom faucet was broken, so she asked young uncle for help. She reminded Lu Xiaohe, "Right, young uncle?" Lu Xiaohe just gave a faint grunt. But Song Li's curiosity was strong, and she continued asking, "Little Bai Pu, what time did you go to Brother Lu's room? How long did you stay?" Bai Pu impatiently continued lying. "I don't remember exactly, probably around 8 or 9. I just asked about the faucet and left after getting an answer." Seeing Song Li's stare, Bai Pu wondered if their secret would really be exposed today. Next moment, Song Li excitedly said, "Why didn't you stay longer?" Bai Pu and young uncle were about to do something intimate again. Just now, when Song Li asked Bai Pu why she didn't stay longer in Lu's room, it made Bai Pu extremely nervous, thinking their secret was exposed. Song Li sighed disappointedly. "So you didn't see the woman in Lu's room either?" Bai Pu finally relaxed and replied, "No, I didn't," thinking to herself, "That was scary. Almost exposed." Fortunately, Song Li was clueless. Song Li sighed again. "What a pity. I'm really curious what kind of women Brother Lu likes." At these words, Bai Pu unconsciously looked at Lu Xiaohe, but he remained indifferent. Then he swirled his wine glass and said casually, "I like those who don't cost money, preferably free. After all, I'm poor." Hearing this, Bai Pu was secretly delighted. "You ungrateful person, mocking me again." Song Li gave a thumbs up to Lu's words. "Brother Lu?" Before she could finish about him being poor, Lu's sharp glance made her quickly change the subject. "It depends who you compare with. We are indeed poor compared to Bai Pu. After all, she's from the Bai family." Jiang Ling proudly hugged Bai Pu, saying, "That's right. Look whose wife she is." Song Li immediately became annoyed. "Damn, you're showing off again. Tonight, I'll drink you under the table." "Drink this." Jiang Ling boldly responded. "Bring it on. Let's see who falls first tonight." Then began a contest between the two men. Seeing they were quite drunk, Lu Xiaohe said, "All right, you all have flights tomorrow. Let's stop here. Everyone go back." Then he ordered his bodyguard Old Four to take them back. The bodyguards took away the two drunk men. Now only Bai Pu and Lu Xiaohe remained in the private room. Bai Pu glanced at Lu Xiaohe, wondering if he had planned this all along. Just then, Lu Xiaohe looked at Bai Pu affectionately. Bai Pu felt the situation was too awkward and swayed as she stood up, saying, "I should go back too." Unexpectedly, she accidentally stepped on a wine bottle on the floor. Oh dear, she was about to fall. But in the next moment, she fell directly into Lu Xiaohe's arms. Was this Bai Pu's deliberate move? They stared at each other at close range. Bai Pu's face was bright red, while Lu Xiaohe teased, "You're drunk." Hearing this, Bai Pu became furious. "You old pervert, mocking me again. Well then, I won't be polite." Then she caressed Lu Xiaohe's face. "Yes, I'm a bit eager. Do you want to dodge? After all, I'm drunk. I'm worried your fragile body can't handle it." After saying this, she deliberately teased his ear. Lu Xiaohe felt excited and put his hands behind his head saying, "Come on, I'm really looking forward to it." And so, they created a beautiful scene on the sofa. The next second, Bai Pu kissed him directly. Lu Xiaohe thought to himself, "So direct? Well then, I'll let her have her way today." Just as Lu Xiaohe was enjoying it, Bai Pu bit his lip hard. Lu Xiaohe's face twisted in pain. He quickly pushed Bai Pu away, but he pushed too hard, causing Bai Pu to fall to the ground. Fallen, Bai Pu thought about Jiang Lin and his mother. She felt sad, thinking, even Lu Xiaohe rejects me, doesn't want me. Then she burst into tears. This crying completely confused Lu Xiaohe. What's wrong? Are you hurt? He quickly hugged Bai Pu, asking, where are you hurt? Let me see. Don't cry. Bai Pu couldn't stop crying at this point. Lu Xiaohe thought, is she crying because I didn't let her bite me? He resigned himself, thinking, fine, let her bite then. Then he kissed her directly. They were actually doing this in the private room. Fortunately, Bai Pu kept control. Just now, when Lu Xiaohe kissed Bai Pu because she was crying, the intense artificial respiration made her sobering up. She finally realized, damn, what's happening? What was I doing? This is too crazy. She thought, this won't do, this is a private room. This old pervert gets aroused too easily. If he can't control himself and takes me right here, if the security cameras catch it, that would be terrible. So Bai Pu came up with a plan. She fell backward, pretending to faint. This move left Lu Xiaohe completely at a loss. These ups and downs would wear him out. Looking carefully, he noticed something was off. Bai Pu was peeking at him through half-closed eyes. So Lu Xiaohe picked up Bai Pu, thinking, since you're pretending to faint, I'll go along with it and take you to the room. How perfect! Being carried, Bai Pu thought, I'm passed out. Is he still going to do that to me? Lu Xiaohe brazenly carried her out of the private room. Bai Pu was shocked. This guy is too bold. In front of everyone, this man's beast nature is showing. He really has no restraint. What if Jiang Ling sees this? What then? Why worry? Just as they left the hotel, they saw the drunk Jiang Ling sitting on a bench by the road. He wouldn't let his bodyguards touch him, mumbling that he was waiting for his wife. At this moment, Bai Pu could only hide in Lu Xiaohe's arms, wondering why he stopped and didn't keep walking. Could he be seeking more excitement? Even worse, he carried her towards Jiang Ling. Bai Pu couldn't keep pretending and struggled desperately. That villain Lu Xiaohe held her tightly, not letting her escape. Then he smirked. Little Bai Pu, done pretending to sleep? Bai Pu exclaimed in surprise. You knew I was pretending all along? Seeing Lu Xiaohe's smug expression, Bai Pu was grinding her teeth in anger. Just then, Bai Pu noticed Jiang Lin looking their way. Frightened, she quickly buried her head in Lu Xiaohe's chest. This drunk fool was asking his uncle, have you seen my wife? While his fiancée was right in front of him. Lu Xiaohe, bold as brass, calmly responded, no. Jiang Ling mumbled confusedly, then I'll keep looking, as he fumbled for his phone to call Bai Pu. Lu Xiaohe directly ordered the bodyguards. He's drunk, take him home. I'll take Bai Pu back. Get up early tomorrow to pick up Bai Pu for the airport. As the bodyguards took Jiang Ling away, Lu Xiaohe carried Bai Pu towards the car. When they reached the car, Bai Pu quickly jumped down. Thank goodness we weren't discovered, she sighed. That was too thrilling. She angrily grabbed Lu Xiaohe's collar and demanded, you knew I was pretending early on, so you were deliberately playing with me, right? Bai Pu. It was Jiang Ling's voice. Bai Pu's heart jumped. Had they been discovered? When she turned around, she realized Jiang Lin hadn't actually noticed her. He was just drunk rambling, shouting, Bai Pu is my wife. I love Bai Pu. Seeing this situation, Bai Pu felt very awkward. Lu Xiaohe urged, get in the car. He might really notice if he sobers up. Seeing the situation, Bai Pu had no choice but to get in. After they were seated and the driver started moving, Bai Pu was still angry. You old pervert, trying to trick me again with bad intentions. Just then, a car suddenly appeared in front. The driver slammed on the brakes. Bai Pu was thrown into Lu Xiaohe's arms again. Lu Xiaohe teased, you just left your fiancé and you're already throwing yourself at me? Bai Pu realized that Jiang Ling, that scoundrel, had deceived her again. Just now, Lu Xiaohe was still teasing Bai Pu about being so eager right after leaving her fiancé. Bai Pu retorted, yes, my dear uncle. But are you sure you want to put on a show in front of the driver? Where are you taking me, dear uncle? As soon as she finished speaking, Lu Xiaohe leaned close to Bai Pu and said lovingly, to the hotel, of course. Bai Pu smiled and asked, to your room or mine? This guy Lu Xiaohe played dirty, directly holding Bai Pu's chin. Which room would you like? Bai Pu thought, I'm still a girl after all. Where do you want me to go? They were both clearly experienced, staring at each other, neither willing to make the first move. Just then, the driver called out Mr. Lu, breaking their awkward situation. Lu Xiaohe released his hand from Bai Pu's chin and said, if you don't get out, do you want me to carry you back? Hearing this, Bai Pu immediately pushed Lu Xiaohe away. She opened the car door and got out. In the car, Lu Zhao watched Bai Pu's retreating figure, finding this woman increasingly interesting. In a moment, they arrived at the room door. Bai Pu watched as Lu Zhaohe opened the door. Just as she was about to go in to explore further, unexpectedly this guy directly closed the door. Bai Pu was instantly bewildered. This guy today actually didn't want to. Could he be impotent? She thought, whatever, I'm tired anyway. If he doesn't want to, I can get a good sleep. She turned and went back to her own room. Hearing the door close across the hall, Lu Zhao marveled that this woman didn't continue to harass him. At this point, I realized these two were both bottling up their feelings, truly burning with desire. Just then, the phone rang. After Lu Zhaohe answered, he heard, "Why haven't you replied to my messages?" Lu Zhaohe calmly replied, "Didn't see them." The other person continued, "I'm divorced now. The paperwork's almost done. I bought a ticket for the day after tomorrow. Can you pick me up?" Hearing this, Lu Zhaohe took out a cigarette. After lighting it, he took a deep drag. With a melancholic expression, he said, "I know." After hanging up, Lu Zhaohe sat on the bed, taking big puffs of his cigarette. As someone experienced, he was clearly troubled. A moment later, he extinguished the cigarette and grabbed his bathrobe, preparing to take a shower. At this time, Bai Pu was also bathing in the room across the hall. The phone in the bedroom started beeping. Bai Pu wondered if it was that guy. She hurriedly came out and answered the phone. She saw Jiangling on video call, crying and saying, "Baby, where are you? I miss you so much." Bai Pu was speechless seeing this two-faced person. This scumbag? Was he a professional actor? Bai Pu just replied coldly, "I'm at the hotel. Just showered and about to sleep." Jiangling continued acting. "Sorry, baby. I got drunk today. I have to sleep with Songli tonight. When I return to Harbor City tomorrow, I'll make it up to you." But Bai Pu noticed a scantily clad woman in the video background. She flashed by, and then Bai Pu snorted and hung up. She sneered, "Jiangling, I can't believe you're still lying to me. With Songli? More like with Shun Lu." Then she opened Shun Lu's social media. There was Shun Lu in sexy sleepwear, with none other than Jianglin behind her. She put down her phone and prepared to sleep. Soon she fell asleep, even snoring. However, in her dream, Jianglin and Shun Lu appeared together, doing unspeakable things. Just then, urgent knocking sounds came from the door. Bai Pu was startled awake from her dream. Just as she sat up, she saw Jianglin and Shun Lu walk in. "How'd they get here?" you say, with Uncle's various seductive moves and positions. Could there be any problem? Just now, Bai Pu was awakened from her sleep to find Jiangling and Shun Lu had come. While she was wondering why they were here, Shun Lu walked over with fake concern, saying, "Jiangling said you drank a lot last night. This is hangover tea I made for you. Have some." Bai Pu looked at the two people before her with great disdain, closed her eyes slightly, and said leisurely, "No need." Seeing the awkward situation, Lu Jiangling had to come over and take the teacup, saying, "Since Xiao Bai Pu doesn't want to drink, then let's forget it." Then looking at Bai Pu with an affectionate tone, "Baby, get ready, let's go." Watching their acting, Bai Pu simply replied coldly. Then she got up to change clothes. She noticed how intimate the two behind her were, even sharing luggage. In no time, they arrived at the airport waiting hall. Bai Pu couldn't be bothered with them. Shun Lu kept staring at Jiangling's back, then suddenly turned to Bai Pu saying, "Since you plan to reconcile with Jiangling, there's no need to be cold to me. After all, you'll have to call me mom later. He's my son. I want the best for him more than anyone." Bai Pu still ignored her expression. She anxiously kissed Bai Pu. "Did you hear what I said?" Just then, Jiangling walked over, making Shun Lu immediately shut up. Unexpectedly, this woman with superb acting skills instantly changed her expression, smilingly asking Jiangling if he bought the local specialties. Jiangling responded, "Yes, Songli is arriving too." Just as he finished speaking, Songli was seen walking over. Jiangling waved and called out to Songli. Songli, that fool, came over smiling and called out, "Xiao Bai Pu, Jiangling, sorry I'm late." Suddenly noticing the beautiful woman beside them, he stared, almost diving in, then exclaimed, "What a beautiful lady!" Jiangling, "Is this beautiful sister with you all?" Jiangling angrily said, "Who are you calling sister? This is my mom Shun Lu." With a disbelieving expression, he questioned, "This is your mom? Unbelievable." Then apologized, "Sorry, Annie, you look so young. Now I understand why you three get along so harmoniously." At these words, Jiang Ling instinctively looked at Bai Pu. Bai Pu just gave a faint reply. Jiang Ling changed the subject. Where's uncle? Isn't he coming back too? Why isn't he with you? Song Li interjected. He doesn't take commercial flights. He has a private jet. Bai Pu was quite surprised to hear this. Can he fly a plane? Song Li explained. Probably not. He has a back injury. I heard someone chartered a plane to pick him up. Hearing about the back injury, Bai Pu looked puzzled. Remembering their intimate moments when he was like a wild bull, she unconsciously said, his back seemed fine to me. Song Li immediately asked curiously, Xiao Bai Pu, how do you know if Brother Lu's back is good or not? Bai Pu sensed trouble and seriously made up an excuse. I saw him sitting very straight while eating and drinking. Jiang Lin angrily said, Song Li, stop teasing Bai Pu. She's still an innocent girl. Don't corrupt her. Song Li quickly responded, Okay, I'm sorry. Then awkwardly called to Jiang Ling. We still have time, let's go smoke. The two turned and walked toward the smoking room. Watching them leave, Bai Pu finally relaxed. Good thing I managed to dodge that. But did Jiang Ling really believe it? In the smoking room, Jiang Ling asked Song Li in surprise. You say Bai Pu's key card was in Uncle's room? Song Li confirmed this and added fuel to the fire. I don't think Bai Pu is as innocent as you think. She might be that woman from that night. Jiang Ling took a deep drag of a cigarette. Impossible. Bai Pu has been with me for 7 years. She's not that kind of person. Maybe she had something to discuss with Uncle and accidentally left her key card. Do you really think my uncle would be interested in someone like Bai Pu? Song Li also thought Bai Pu was indeed lacking something. She's not even as good as your mother. But you should be careful about this. Don't get cheated on one day. Jiang Ling immediately extinguished his cigarette, then looked at Bai Pu, wondering if he was really being cheated on. Just then, Bai Pu's phone rang. Looking at her phone, it was a message from Lu Zhaohe, asking her to meet him at Harbor City to take him home later. Bai Pu held the phone, lost in thought, wondering what he wanted. Bai Pu was secretly meeting Uncle again, even going on wild rides with him. Soon they arrived at Harbor City Airport. Everyone was getting their luggage ready to leave. Then Bai Pu suddenly said, Jiang Ling, my car is in the underground parking. You don't need to see me off. I'll drive back myself. Jiang Ling, still gloomy about the earlier gift incident, replied flatly, Okay, be careful on the road. Bai Pu left alone with her luggage. Since Lu Zhao he had messaged earlier asking her to wait at Harbor City, was she going to do intimate things again? However, while Song Li and others were waiting for their car, they happened to see Bai Pu returning to the airport. Song Li said surprisingly, Isn't that Bai Pu? Why is she going back to the airport? Jiang Ling was equally confused. He said maybe there was traffic ahead and took out his phone to call and ask. But noticing his stepmother's displeased expression behind him, he put away his phone. Never mind, I trust her. She won't betray me. Actually, in his heart, he thought, I don't love her anyway. I just want to get what I want. Why care so much? Meanwhile, Bai Pu stopped her car at the airport exit, staring at the exit direction, wondering why Lu Zhao he hadn't come out yet. Just then, a tall, handsome man appeared, instantly causing excitement among many women nearby. Bai Pu instinctively looked at him too, thinking, damn this guy. All these women are fooled by this old flirt's appearance. Then, Bai Pu honked the horn, calling Lu Zhaohe to get in. After getting in, Bai Pu asked, Uncle, where to? Xing Yuan Complex. Bai Pu immediately changed to an excited expression. Oh, then hold on tight. Preparing for takeoff. Then she slammed on the gas. She shouted excitedly, Yo-ho! This action startled Lu Zhaohe beside her, making him quickly grab the handle. Just then, a man carrying a child suddenly appeared in front. Bai Pu quickly hit the brakes. While still startled, the man urgently knocked on the car window. Lu Zhaohe told Bai Pu to open it, sensing the man needed help. Bai Pu slowly lowered the window. The man anxiously pleaded, Please help save my child. Take us to the nearest hospital. I can't wait for an ambulance. The two got in, and Bai Pu quickly started driving, speeding away. Lu Zhaohe asked what happened. I don't know. This morning after getting vaccinated, he cried. After drinking milk for over an hour, he fell asleep and hasn't woken up since. The man replied anxiously. Lu Zhaohe, being kind-hearted, came over to check the child's chin and body, feeling the situation was very serious. He anxiously instructed Bai Pu to reach the hospital in 5 minutes. Bai Pu was confused but quickly nodded in agreement. Lu Zhao, he gently laid the child flat, then sat him up for CPR. Bai Pu was surprised seeing how skilled Lu Zhao he was. This guy knows quite a lot. Soon they got the child to the hospital. Bai Pu sighed in relief. At least we saved the child's life. Now it's up to the doctors. Let's head back. Bai Pu had a tearful expression. I drove too hard just now. My hands are too weak to drive now. Lu Zhao, he smiled. You're such a wimp. Let me drive. I'll take you home. The next moment, they arrived at Bai Pu's building. Thanks for today. Take the car back. I'll come get it tomorrow. As Bai Pu was about to get out, she found the door locked. Lu Zhao, he leaned closer to her. Then he stared at her lustfully. Won't you invite me up? This time, Bai Pu finally refused Lu Zhao his intimate advances. Just then, as Lu Zhao he leaned in to kiss Bai Pu thought she couldn't let him have his way this time. So she blocked his approaching mouth with her hand. Are you that desperate? Is being a scumbag your family tradition? Lu Zhao he, overcome with desire, leaned in again. Don't you enjoy being influenced by it too? Bai Pu pressed the window button with one hand, then pushed away the lecherous Lu Zhao he, quickly got out and fled, then turned and said, I don't have such perverted tastes. No need to come up, just stay in the car and take a few breaths, you scumbag. Then casually waved goodbye, saying bye, you old pervert. Lu Zhao he smiled in the car, thinking this woman was getting more interesting. Was she playing hard to get? Back home, after washing up, Bai Pu wore sexy pajamas and sighed in relief. Finally can relax. If that pervert had come up, I probably wouldn't get any sleep tonight. Just as she was about to sleep, her phone received a message. Opening it, it was Jiang Ling asking, Baby, are you home? We just parted, but I miss you so much. I really miss you. You don't care about me as much anymore. Why do I feel we're growing more distant? Looking at these nauseating messages, Bai Pu smirked coldly. Your act is disgusting. As if you're the one being neglected and deceived, you fool. Forget about this idiot. I have work tomorrow. Better sleep early. The next morning, at Harbor City News Department where Bai Pu worked, everyone respectfully greeted her as she entered. Bai Pu politely responded. The next moment, Bai Pu arrived at the director's office. This woman was Xie Fong, the news department director. As soon as Bai Pu sat down, Xie Fong said, Xiao Bai, I see your investigation of Chengchuan Pharmaceuticals only mentions problems with their financial statements, but no evidence pointing to specific reasons. Is there something wrong here? Bai Pu explained, I've studied this case carefully. It's not as simple as it seems. If there really wasn't a problem, why didn't they use legal means instead of directly silencing people? Before Bai Pu could say more, Xie Fong gently closed the file. Starting today, you don't need to investigate anymore. Go to the editorial department. Bai Pu was confused. Why? Xie Fong sighed. Things aren't that simple. I'm worried about your safety and couldn't face your family if something happened. Bai Pu stood up, thanking the director for her concern, but insisted on uncovering the truth, stating her family wouldn't interfere with her work and wouldn't put the director in a difficult position. Then she stood up, saying if there's nothing else, director, I'll head back. Outside, Bai Pu thought if even the director felt things weren't simple, and with no progress after investigating for so long, it was time to enter the tiger's den. So she took out her phone, asked her brother to help her get a position at Chengchuan Pharmaceuticals. In the afternoon, Bai Pu arrived at Chengchuan Pharmaceuticals. She thought Bai Hu's efficiency was impressive, getting her employed by afternoon, and as an executive CEO's secretary no less. Entering through the door, Bai Pu wondered what the new executive CEO would be like. Then Bai Pu walked into the office, announcing the new executive CEO had arrived. Everyone put your work aside and prepare to welcome them. Bai Pu deliberately sent everyone away, planning to look through files to investigate Chengchuan's affairs. The next moment, Bai Pu arrived at the finance department entrance. Bai Pu hoped their CEO welcome would give her some time. Just as she was about to enter, she found the finance department had security access she didn't have yet. Just then, a voice reached her ears. Everyone's gone to welcome the CEO. What are you doing here? Bai Pu turned to see it was Luo Wan, the finance department assistant. She frantically thought of an excuse. Just then, Bai Pu was pulled to the office by her uncle. How brazen. Just moments ago, Bai Pu had been called to Lu Zhao's office. That old pervert Lu Zhao, he stared directly at Bai Pu. Bai Pu felt awkward being stared at, thinking, this guy isn't planning to make moves in the office too, is he? She had to explain, my brother arranged this job for me. I'm not here for you. Lu Zhao, he looked at the nervous Bai Pu with an amused smile. Why are you nervous? Are you expecting something to happen? Then he instructed Bai Pu to bring up the records and reports from all company departments. Bai Pu was instantly delighted. Perfect. She could use this chance to examine Qingchuan's financial reports. Just as Bai Pu reached the finance department, she heard Luo Wan loudly scolding a female employee. Seeing the upset employee, Bai Pu thought the finance department must have issues, otherwise they wouldn't be so nervous. As Bai Pu entered the finance department, Luo Wan said, "You again? You can't just come in here as you please." Bai Pu confidently replied, "I'm here to get reports for President Liu." Luo Wan, clearly unaware Bai Pu was the CEO's secretary, said the financial reports weren't for just anyone to take. She clearly wasn't going to hand them over, as the two women stood in hostile confrontation. Just then, the female employee behind whispered something in Luo Wan's ear. Only then did she let go. Bai Pu took the materials, verified them, and felt quite pleased. Unexpectedly, she got the reports on her first day of work, so she secretly made a copy of the documents, planning to examine them carefully when she had time. But unexpectedly, Lu Zhao he came over asking for the originals. Bai Pu wondered if he had discovered something. How did he notice issues with the documents so quickly? So she made an excuse. "I might have taken the wrong ones. Let me check." Fortunately, Bai Pu had made an extra copy. She took out the backup documents and handed them to Lu Zhaohe. After taking the documents, Lu Zhaohe commanded Bai Pu to follow him to his office. Just as Bai Pu entered the office, Lu Zhaohe grabbed her hand and pushed her against the wall, demanding to know why she hid the originals. "Come clean. What exactly are you trying to do?" Bai Pu explained it was just a mistake. "Uncle, are you just looking for an excuse to interrogate me?" Then she played her trump card, stroking Lu Zhaohe's tie. "I was planning to call it even with you. Why are you still giving me trouble?" Lu Zhaohe sneered. "Revenge on you? I'm afraid you couldn't handle it. Besides, when did we ever call it even?" Bai Pu was very annoyed. Yesterday, he wanted to go to her house. Today in the office, was this guy really just thinking with his lower half? Bai Pu thought, since he dared to play with fire, she would dare to go further, loosening Lu Zhaohe's tie, caressing his chest. "Uncle, do you want to experience something in the office?" Unexpectedly, Lu Zhaohe changed his usual attitude today, saying seriously, "I'm not Jiang Ling, don't use those tricks on me." Outside, Bai Pu secretly laughed while fixing Lu Zhaohe's collar. "Since Uncle doesn't dare, then I'll be going." Only after leaving did Bai Pu relax. Finally fooled him. She thought this case might take months to solve, and she'd have to keep outsmarting this old pervert. Meanwhile, Lu Zhaohe in the office took out his phone. "Help me investigate someone." Uncle and Bai Pu were playing cards in the office. Since the document incident, Lu Zhaohe had become clearly suspicious of Bai Pu. In the following days, he didn't let her handle any finance department matters. Bai Pu tried many methods but failed, only being assigned trivial tasks. 3 days passed, and Bai Pu was furious, thinking Lu Zhaohe was definitely doing this on purpose. While Bai Pu was figuring out how to access finance department documents without raising suspicion, she happened to see the woman who was scolded by Luo Wan that day, crying while eating on the stairs. So Bai Pu approached her and offered a tissue. "Are you okay?" The woman was surprised to see Bai Pu and said, "Oh, it's you. I'm fine, thanks to you that day, or I might have been scolded until closing time." Bai Pu wondered why a mere assistant could scold them freely without management intervention. She's the manager's niece. She basically controls everything in the finance department. No one dares to cross her. Only then did Bai Pu understand she had backing. If the company had issues, the finance department must have major problems. So, she decided to look for a breakthrough through this woman. When she asked what the woman did in the finance department and learned she only served tea and water, Bai Pu was surprised. "Isn't that what interns do? Don't you ever handle reports or verify accounts?" The woman told Bai Pu that Luo Wan personally handled all of those. Bai Pu finally understood. They must be hiding something, otherwise they wouldn't be so cautious. The woman suddenly became vigilant and asked Bai Pu, "Why are you asking me all these questions?" Bai Pu had to explain, "I'm just curious. The finance department has so many people, but most tasks are only assigned to a few, while others remain idle." The woman said, "I'm just here to pass time. It's getting late, I should go back." Watching her leave, Bai Pu thought her wariness meant she must know some inside information. "I must find a way to break through her." Time flew by, and it was the end of the workday. Bai Pu stretched and sighed. Another day of slacking off is over. She decided to ask that old pervert Lu Zhaohe about working overtime tomorrow. Arriving at Lu Zhaohe's office, Bai Pu asked, "Director Lu, do we need to work overtime tomorrow?" Lu Zhaohe was reviewing documents and casually replied, "Up to you." Bai Pu responded, "That's perfect. I'm moving to Jiang Ling's place tomorrow anyway." Lu Zhaohe paused upon hearing this, then said, "You'll work normal hours tomorrow. There's a company meeting with double overtime pay." Bai Pu thought this guy was obviously doing it on purpose. Could he be jealous? Just then, Bai Pu's phone suddenly rang. Bai Pu checked the phone. It was Jiang Ling calling. She felt annoyed, wondering why he was calling now. She answered asking what's wrong. "Nothing. Just reminding you to pack tomorrow. I'll pick you up." Bai Pu glanced at Lu Zhaohe and told Jiang Ling, "I can't tomorrow. My boss wants me to work overtime." Jiang Ling replied, "If you're working tomorrow, then let's do it tonight. I'm nearby anyway. I'll pick you up after dropping off my mom." Before Bai Pu could say anything, Jiang Ling said he'd be there soon and hung up. Bai Pu told Lu Zhaohe, "Director Lu, my boyfriend is coming to pick me up. If there's nothing else, I'll leave first." Unexpectedly, Lu Zhaohe told her to wait, walked over to her, and grabbed her hand. Then pushed Bai Pu onto the desk, looking at her intensely. "Did I say you could leave?" Then he forcefully leaned towards Bai Pu. The violent movement scattered documents all over the floor. Bai Pu's face turned red with embarrassment. As Bai Pu's clothes slipped to the floor, readers can use their imagination for this scene. Meanwhile, Jiang Ling had arrived downstairs, waiting for Bai Pu. While her fiancé waited downstairs, she was doing shameful things with his uncle. Just now, when Bai Pu was about to leave, that old pervert Lu Zhaohe's animal instincts took over and pinned Bai Pu to the desk. His fierce actions left Bai Pu flushed red. Meanwhile, Jiang Ling, who had been waiting downstairs, grew impatient and took the elevator up. Just as the two were about to enter the next level of intimacy, Jiang Ling called out from the office door, "Where are you? Why aren't you answering your phone?" Bai Pu and Lu Zhaohe were startled at this crucial moment. Bai Pu nervously said, "Jiang Ling is here." But for that old pervert Lu Zhaohe, this seemed to excite him more, and he directly lifted up Bai Pu. "So what?" Then he showed an evil smile. "Don't you like excitement too? Since that's the case, why don't we go all the way?" At this moment, Bai Pu was feeling very uncomfortable, but also worried about being discovered. That would be disastrous. She could only shout, "Lu Zhaohe." Seeing Bai Pu's anger, Lu Zhaohe quickly stopped and helped her fix her clothes. "He's still looking for you. Go out." Bai Pu's neck was covered in hickeys from Lu Zhaohe. She complained angrily, "How can I go out looking like this? What if Jiang Ling sees? That scumbag Lu Zhao," he actually said, "then just tell him." Bai Pu thought telling him wouldn't be fun. She wanted to take revenge slowly. This time, Bai Pu actively approached Lu Zhaohe, caressing him. "Isn't it more interesting to enjoy the thrill of secrecy?" Just as Bai Pu was about to make her move, Jiang Ling's voice came from the door. Bai Pu had to give up, telling Lu Zhaohe, "I'll go out first. Hide well, don't come out." Watching Bai Pu leave, Lu Zhaohe showed a playful smile. After Bai Pu came out, she saw Jiang Ling holding his phone. Upon seeing Bai Pu, Jiang Ling's face was full of anger. But when Bai Pu got closer, Jiang Ling suddenly seemed like a different person. "Baby, why didn't you answer my calls? I couldn't find you. I was so worried." The next moment, he noticed the hickeys on Bai Pu's neck. He asked, "What happened to your neck?" Bai Pu had to explain, "I think it was an insect bite. It's been itchy. I've been scratching it for a while." As an experienced player, Jiang Ling knew better, but he understood it was all about mutual benefits. He said, "Let's go home. I'll put some ointment on it later." He reached out to hold Bai Pu's hand, but she avoided it and spoke coldly. Bai Pu thought she had finally managed to fool him. Soon they arrived at Jiang Ling's home. Jiang Ling called out sweetly, "Babe, give me your things. I'll take care of them. You should rest." Just as he finished speaking, his phone rang. Bai Pu saw Jiang Ling hesitating to answer and knew it must be Shenlu calling. They really couldn't stay apart. She told Jiang Ling, "Your phone is ringing. Why don't you answer? If you have something to do, go ahead. I can look around by myself." Jiang Ling immediately smiled and held Bai Pu's hand. "Baby, you're so thoughtful. Just wait for me a moment. I'll be right back." Watching Jiang Ling leave, thinking about her fiancé and future mother-in-law doing those shameful things. It was disgusting. Bai Pu took a tissue to wipe her hand where he had held it, then threw the tissue in the trash. Soon Jiang Ling returned to the room. Seeing the mess in front of Bai Pu, he was very angry. Bai Pu explained. I accidentally dirted the bedding. I wanted to change it before you came back, but I couldn't find any. And these are Annie's clothes, right? Should we pack them up and mail them to her? Jiang Ling suppressed his anger and said, it's fine. If she didn't take them, they're not important. I'll change the bedding. Bai Pu chuckled. That's true. Annie doesn't need these few pieces of clothing. Let the cleaner throw them away tomorrow. Don't bother cleaning up anymore, she said while throwing the blanket aside. I'll make do in the guest room tonight. I'm going to take a shower first. Bai Pu looked back at the angry Jiang Ling. If he can't handle this, the real show hasn't even started yet. Bai Pu discovered that Jiang Ling was quite plain looking. Thinking of Lu Zhao, his perfect physique with his six-pack abs, there really was no comparison. Just now, when Bai Pu was about to take a shower, that sneaky Jiang Ling actually peeped from outside. After Bai Pu finished showering and came out wearing sexy pink pajamas, Jiang Ling was stunned at the sight. He never expected Bai Pu to have such a great figure. He had to admit, at this moment, he felt a familiar urge towards Bai Pu. He eagerly reached out, ready to explore Bai Pu. But Bai Pu immediately dodged. I need to dry my hair first. Go take a shower. I've already heated the water. Jiang Ling started his playboy talk again. Baby, you're so good. I'm so lucky to have you. Bai Pu urged him. Hurry up and go. Your luck is yet to come. After the door closed, Bai Pu's smile immediately faded. When the water started running inside, Bai Pu opened the door crack and took several photos with her phone. Before, Bai Pu always thought Jiang Ling had a good body, until she experienced Lu Zhao, his perfect physique. In her eyes, Jiang Ling suddenly seemed so plain. There really was no comparison. Then she opened WeChat, blocked most people, including Lu Zhaohe, and posted on Moments. She chuckled, wondering how Shen Lu would react. Soon after, Jiang Ling hurriedly came out with his phone. Seems like Shen Lu was giving him trouble. Bai Pu smiled and stood up. Now that you're done, dry your hair. My arms are sore. Why don't you help me dry my hair? Jiang Ling sighed anxiously. Sorry, baby. There's an emergency at the company. I need to go handle it. Bai Pu's smile disappeared, and she pouted. But today is our first day of trial marriage. Jiang Ling grabbed her hand. I know, of course I want to stay with you. But, baby, I want to work hard for our future, to give you a better life. At this moment, Jiang Ling's phone rang again. Bai Pu said, then come back early. Before leaving, Jiang Ling took out some ointment and told Bai Pu, for your itchy neck, apply this. Wait for me to return. Looking at the ointment in her hand, Bai Pu remarked, such attention to detail. Even while thinking about how to comfort Shen Lu, he still remembered this. No wonder I was fooled by him for 7 years. This kind of scene happened often before. I was so naive then. She threw the ointment into the trash. I should be grateful we're not married yet. Since you dare to discuss me like this, I'll pay you back with interest. The next morning, Bai Pu went to the company, but found no one there. Bai Pu was furious. Big liar, scumbag. There wasn't even any overtime work. Just then, Bai Pu's phone rang. It was her best friend Su Xiaoran. After answering, her friend's loud voice came through, saying she wanted to introduce a handsome guy with six-pack abs to comfort Bai Pu's emotional intelligence. She emphasized that Bai Pu should dress up beautifully, or she'd pull out Bai Pu's grapevines. Scene changes. Bai Pu drove to Fu Man Lu's entrance, where a beautiful woman with long curly hair was already waiting. She looked Bai Pu up and down. Not bad, baby. You finally came to your senses. Dressing up so nicely. That great figure should have been shown off long ago. Hearing her friend's words, Bai Pu lifted her chin. How could that be? Men don't deserve it. I dressed up for you. Su Xiaoran laughed at Bai Pu's joke. My baby is so cute, and gave Bai Pu a kiss on the cheek. Then she held Bai Pu's hand and walked inside. Just as they entered, Bai Pu noticed several people across the room. The silhouette of the person in front seemed very familiar. It looked a bit like that old pervert Lu Zhaohe. Bailey and Bai Pu discussed. The hardware is good, but the CPU can't keep up. Just now, Bai Pu looked at the person across who seemed like Lu Zhaohe. Just as she was about to look closer, Su Xiaoran came over asking, what are you spacing out for? The private room is ready. Let's go in. As they entered, the man in the distance seemed to sense something and looked over. Just as Bai Pu sat down in the private room, her friend gossiped. I saw your Moments post yesterday. Are you really going to live with Jiang Ling? How could that be possible? Bai Pu now despised Jiang Ling from the bottom of her heart. Su Xiaoran always thought Jiang Ling was hypocritical. She didn't want to say it before, but now that things had come to this, she felt relieved for Bai Pu and teased her. Besides, Bai Pu, after experiencing Lu Zhaohe, how could you still look at Jiang Ling? Tell your sister. How was your first experience with him? Bai Pu glanced at her friend and softly replied, "It was just okay." Su Xiaoran smiled. "What do you mean just okay?" Bai Pu raised her eyebrows and said seriously, "I mean it was fine." Was his technique not good? Su Xiaoran couldn't help asking. Bai Pu didn't have much concept of technique yet, but her first experience was indeed good, with an indescribable, wonderful feeling. Then Bai Pu joked, "That's hard to say. Why don't you try it yourself and see how it feels?" Su Xiaoran immediately distanced herself from Bai Pu. "Don't joke about that. I wouldn't dare. Someone like Lu Zhao, he isn't casual. Once he has someone, it's hard for anyone else to get in." Though Su Xiaoran was materialistic, she wouldn't court disaster. She threatened Bai Pu. "Besides, I've experienced the best already." As soon as she said that, Bai Pu exclaimed surprised, "First love? That old pervert has a first love?" Su Xiaoran told Bai Pu, "You can't judge men by appearances. Remember my 1.95M ex-boyfriend? He just had good hardware, but his CPU couldn't keep up. What a waste of a good look." Bai Pu chuckled, responding meaningfully, "That really is a waste." Just then, she suddenly heard a cold snort outside. The voice sounded just like Lu Zhaohe. She instinctively looked at the door, but there was no one there. Was she hallucinating? Su Xiaoran didn't notice Bai Pu's reaction and said, "Today's overall conditions are definitely perfect. You should cherish it well." Just as she finished speaking, there was a click at the door. Su Xiaoran said, "Here comes perfection." A handsome man in a suit wearing silver glasses appeared. Even after many years, Bai Pu recognized him at first glance. It was their senior, Mu Qingyun. After greetings, when the three sat down, the man stared at Bai Pu intently. "You're still as pure and charming as before," Su Xiaoran said to the man. "You've changed a lot after several years abroad. Are you planning to stay this time? Is it just to see our little Bai Pu?" The man didn't reply directly, just stared intently at Bai Pu. His purpose was obvious. Hearing this, Bai Pu immediately warned Su Xiaoran, "If you keep talking nonsense, I'll have the staff throw you out." "Throw me out to give you two some space?" Su Xiaoran wasn't afraid of Bai Pu's threat and deliberately misinterpreted her words. Bai Pu's cheeks puffed up in anger. Mu Qingyun had to softly say, "All right, no more jokes." Then he reached out to Bai Pu. "I'm really happy to see my junior right after coming back." Bai Pu wasn't coy and responded gracefully, "Don't say that, senior. It's my honor to see you again." As they were shaking hands, Su Xiaoran teased, "If you two keep this up, I'm going to get jealous." Then she raised her glass. "Since everyone's happy, let's toast to our reunion." Bai Pu immediately downed her glass. The man clearly couldn't handle alcohol well, but seeing Bai Pu finish hers, he had a save face. Soon he was passed out on the table. Bai Pu, just starting to feel the effects, teased, "Su Xiaoran, is this what you called perfect? You keep watching your perfect match. I'm going to the bathroom." Just as Bai Pu reached the bathroom door, she was suddenly grabbed. Bai Pu was startled. Looking up, it was Lu Zhaohe. Uncle questioned what she meant by just okay. After their intense encounter, Bai Pu was completely exhausted. Just now, at the bathroom door, a hand pulled her into an embrace. Bai Pu looked up. It was Lu Zhaohe. Bai Pu was confused why she had thought about this old pervert several times tonight. Was she hallucinating? The next second, Lu Zhaohe kissed her. After an intimate exchange, Lu Zhaohe caressed Bai Pu's blushing cheeks. "Still think it's a hallucination?" Bai Pu was flustered by Lu Zhaohe's actions. She unconsciously responded, "No, I don't." Then Lu Zhaohe slapped her bottom. "Now, explain to me what you meant by just okay." Bai Pu's eyes widened. "You were eavesdropping? No wonder I heard something at the door." Then Bai Pu said coquettishly, "Too much of anything isn't good. I said that to give you room for improvement, not because you weren't good enough." Lu Zhaohe lifted Bai Pu's alcohol-tinged lips, which looked even more tempting. "Then teach me how to improve." As soon as he finished speaking, his lips covered hers. He dragged Bai Pu along to the private room, then pushed her down on the sofa. Bai Pu was startled and could only cry out, "Calm down." Lu Zhaohe couldn't wait any longer. He unbuttoned his shirt. "No need to calm down. I just want teacher Bai to teach me how to be really good." He pressed down on Bai Pu, who could only moan at first. Later, she couldn't even make pleading sounds. Now Bai Pu finally knew how to answer Su Xiaoran's question. Lu Zhaohe was extremely good. Perhaps due to the alcohol, this time Bai Pu was more intoxicated than ever before. After their intense encounter ended, Lu Zhaohe dressed and looked at Bai Pu lying limp on the sofa. What? Did I wear you out? Seeing Lu Xiaohe's smug attitude, Bai Pu sat up angrily, wanting to slap him. But when she saw her dress had been torn by Lu Xiaohe, while Lu Xiaohe was already well dressed, she beckoned him over. Lu Xiaohe approached Bai Pu with a confused look. He thought she might want another round, but instead, she grabbed his shirt collar and yanked it, ripping off his buttons. He blinked and gave what he thought was an innocent smile. You look hot, so I helped you cool down. Don't misunderstand. Then she giggled. Now we're even. Lu Xiaohe didn't mind and stared at Bai Pu intently, suddenly asking if she'd been with Jiang Lin last night. Bai Pu, who was getting dressed, heard this and realized Lu Xiao, he must have seen that social media post. She innocently asked, "Why do you care?" Then she put her arms around Lu Xiaohe's shoulders. "Don't worry, no matter how many people are around me, you're still my favorite. Now, sister needs to check on another fish. See you." As soon as she finished speaking, she ran out the door. Bai Pu was extremely happy, eat and run, with no cost. How exciting. The scene changes. Bai Pu returned to Jiang Lin's place. She sighed, finally got those two drunks home. Now I can rest properly. Just as she was about to go in, Jiang Lin opened the door with a worried face. "Where have you been? You didn't answer your phone. Do you know how worried I was?" Bai Pu hadn't expected him to be home tonight. Now she worried about how to explain this away. Jiang Lin helped her inside and smelled alcohol on her. He asked, "You've been drinking? You never used to drink this late. Is something bothering you?" Suddenly, she noticed slippers in the corner. Bai Pu had an idea. She picked up the slippers and threw them in the trash. Bai Pu was deliberately provoking Jiang Lin. Clearly, her actions successfully angered him. Bai Pu pouted, looking at Shun Lu's belongings: water cups, heart stickers, women's coats. She pushed Jiang Lin away. These all seemed to be Annie's old things. "Didn't you say if she didn't take them, they weren't important? I'm helping dispose of them." To avoid sleeping with Jiang Lin, Bai Pu used a woman's ultimate move. She left Jiang Lin helpless. Just now, Bai Pu pushed Jiang Lin away. She threw out everything belonging to Shin Lu. Finally, she pushed the couple's mugs off the table. Jiang Lin's face darkened completely as he angrily questioned, "What are you doing? Having a drunken fit?" Bai Pu felt wronged and said, "I'm just clearing out unwanted things." "Why are you yelling at me? I thought you'd care if I was hurt first." Jiang Lin seemed to be on the edge of rage, but was holding back. "Is this cleaning? You're clearly using alcohol as an excuse, Dash. An excuse for what?" Bai Pu interrupted angrily, holding back tears. "I know you're not worried about me drinking too much. You're upset because I threw out your mother's things." At the mention of Shun Lu, Jiang Lin's expression froze. He then said in a calmer voice, "This has nothing to do with my mother. I'm just worried about you." "Jiang Lin, you just can't let go of your mother. Even though she moved out, you're angry when I throw out her things." Bai Pu had worked herself up so much that she really started crying. Tears flowing, she sobbed. "We're the ones who'll be married and living together for life. If you always put your mother first, then you should just be with her instead." After saying this, she wiped her tears and turned away. The door slammed shut, and she quickly locked it, nearly hitting Jiang Lin's nose. At this moment, Jiang Lin had been hoping to experience Bai Pu's enchanting figure tonight. He raised his hand and banged on the door, starting his Playboy lines. "Baby, you've really misunderstood. Come out, let's talk about this properly." But inside, Bai Pu was quite pleased, secretly delighting in her manipulation. Hearing no response from inside, Jiang Lin became more anxious. "Open the door. I'll throw out all that trash myself." Hearing his anxious voice outside, Bai Pu pretended to cry. "I won't open it. Go away. I don't want to see you today." Seeing this situation, Jiang Lin thought he wouldn't be getting any tonight, so he said, "Then I'll sleep on the couch. Take care of yourself, baby. I'll wake you up tomorrow." Bai Pu, drinking some wine, felt her plan was perfect. Suddenly, she remembered the person dining with Lu Xiaohe that evening seemed to be Cheng Chuan's financial director. She took out her phone and asked her brother to check Fu Man Lu's surveillance footage. Her brother quickly replied that the surveillance system was damaged, so all data was lost. Bai Pu thought it was too coincidental. She'd have to probe Lu Xiaohe on Monday. Uncle pulled Bai Pu aside, warning her not to play too dangerously, lest she get burned. Bai Pu flirted back defiantly. "I just like pursuing different experiences." The next morning, Bai Pu arrived at the company early, wearing a sexy short skirt and high heels. Just then, a man rushing by bumped into her. Bai Pu groaned, and before she could speak, he kept saying, "Sorry, sorry." The man kept bowing and apologizing. When he looked up, he couldn't help but stare at Bai Pu, suddenly exclaiming, "It's you, my savior." Bai Pu looked confused. The man quickly explained, "That day you drove by and saved my son." remember? You and your boyfriend took us to the hospital. Bai Pu suddenly remembered. Oh, it's you? The man excitedly said. Thanks to you that day, my child's life was saved. I wanted to properly thank you. Can I get your contact information? They exchanged contacts, and the man was especially happy. He said he needed to rush to the hospital, but would treat her and her boyfriend to dinner when he had time, then waved goodbye. Bai Pu watched him leave and checked his newly verified profile picture. It was indeed the baby's photo from that day. After working all day, Bai Pu kept looking for chances to probe Lu Zhao He about Chengchuan Pharmaceuticals. She wanted to eavesdrop on their meeting, but they had security guards, so she needed another plan. Just then, Lu Zhao He opened the conference room door. The meeting was over. Ring ring. Bai Pu's phone received a message. It was from that man, wanting to treat Bai Pu and Lu Zhao He to dinner as thanks. Bai Pu immediately had an idea. She could use this to probe Lu Zhao He about that day. She immediately went to Lu Zhao He, deliberately striking an alluring pose. Mr. Lu, can I have 2 minutes of your time? Lu Zhao He, the old lecher, scanned Bai Pu's long legs and immediately gulped. It's work hours now. How do you plan to compensate for these precious 2 minutes? This beast was thinking about that even in broad daylight. Bai Pu deliberately winked at him. I can work overtime for 4 minutes tonight. Double compensation. The next moment, Lu Zhao He pulled Bai Pu close. You think I need that kind of compensation? The implication was clear. He wanted to get closer. Bai Pu was actually quite looking forward to it, so she sat directly on his lap, not forgetting to explore a bit. That day when I sent you back, we took a child to the hospital. The child's father wants to treat us to dinner tonight. Surprisingly, Lu Zhao He didn't pay much attention this time and simply nodded okay. Then Bai Pu deliberately mentioned Fu Man Lu, trying to probe about that night. As soon as she finished speaking, Lu Zhao He pinched her face. If you don't have the ability, better not play too excitingly. Be careful not to get burned. Bai Pu was startled. Was he hinting that she shouldn't meddle in Chengchuan Pharmaceuticals' affairs? Bai Pu wasn't one to back down. She moved even closer to Lu Zhao He. But you know I love pursuing thrills, don't you? Bai Pu and Lu Zhao He were secretly photographed at the hotel restaurant. Guess who could it be? Last time, Lu Zhao He grabbed Bai Pu, warning her not to play too much. Bai Pu provocatively said, I just love pursuing excitement. Then Lu Zhao He wrapped his arm around her slim waist. Let me give you some excitement right now. Bai Pu blocked his approaching lips. Mr. Lu, good things come to those who wait. I need to work now. As she left, she deliberately winked, save the excitement for tonight. Meet at the parking lot. Watching Bai Pu leave, Lu Zhao He felt his heart ache. After work, they went to the arranged hotel together. Just as they entered, click, click, someone was secretly taking photos of them. Upon entering, Luo Yiming enthusiastically grabbed Lu Zhao He's hand. He kept expressing his gratitude to both of them excitedly. Bai Pu concernedly asked about the child's specific condition. The child's father explained that doctors suspected it might be an adverse reaction to the flu vaccine. When Bai Pu heard vaccine, she immediately connected it to her investigation and asked which vaccine. Luo Yiming looked confused, saying he didn't know the brand, just that it was from Xinyuan Community Hospital. Lu Zhao He interjected, if it were a vaccine issue, it would be a mass incident. Since there's no such news around, it's probably unrelated. Luo Yiming agreed, nodding. Miss Bai, I think your boyfriend makes sense. He's not my boyfriend. Bai Pu sighed awkwardly. Luo Yiming chuckled. I understand, young people being shy. Bai Pu felt helpless and tried to get Lu Zhao He to explain. Lu Zhao He just smiled happily, delighted inside. How could he possibly explain? He just called everyone to eat. During dinner, Bai Pu pondered how previous leads had gone cold. This community hospital might be a new opportunity. Early the next morning, Bai Pu dressed up and went to Xinyuan Community Hospital. While she was queuing, she overheard people discussing the community fruit seller apparently getting rich because of the vaccine and the bun shop owner. Just as she wanted to learn more, the nurse called her name. When Bai Pu sat down, she quickly turned on her recording device. Then in a sweet voice, she asked, Nurse, I need to ask something. My child has been having a fever for several days after getting vaccinated. I want to know which brand it was. The nurse frowned upon hearing this. Another child with fever. Bai Pu keenly caught the word another. You mean my child isn't the only one? How many others have had fever? Not many. Just Mr. Zhang came making a fuss recently. His child had a fever 2 days ago, but he didn't come back the next day. Bai Pu's ears perked up. Is Mr. Zhang the fruit seller? Yes, that's him. Seeing the nurse nod, Bai Pu connected the dots in her mind. A child's sudden severe fever. There must be something fishy. Then she quickly grabbed the nurse's hand. Sister, can you tell me which brand of vaccine it was? In a moment, Bai Pu drove away. Looking at what she had managed to find out through persistence, the vaccine issue was indeed connected to Qingchuan. Just then, the phone rang. Lu Zhao, he shouted. By who? Where are you during work hours? Bai Pu felt embarrassed, caught skipping work. She quickly stepped on the gas. I'm coming back right away. Soon, Bai Pu arrived at the company out of breath. Lu Zhao, he was sitting at his computer. Then he turned around, giving her a meaningful look. That lecherous Lu Zhao, he was really bold. Before work ended, he couldn't resist pulling Bai Pu into an intense encounter. He seemed to have developed a liking for the office setting. Last time, when Bai Pu rushed back to the company, Lu Zhao, he dumped a pile of work on her. She had hoped to investigate Yunxing Pharmaceuticals in her spare time, but that seemed impossible now. Bai Pu was quite angry. Then she took a photo of Lu Zhaohe, added some meaningful words, thanks for the boss's special attention, posted it on social media, and soon received various likes and comments. Bai Pu saw Lu Zhao, he had liked it too, but was still playing dumb. She thought he was really shameless. The next moment, she received a message that her handsome senior wanted to bring her dinner. Bai Pu was excited, her eyes sparkling, but she pretended to be shy, asking if it would be inconvenient. Bai Pu's face was red with happiness, thinking she might develop a new relationship. Then a voice spoke near her ear. What inappropriate content are you looking at that makes you smile so mischievously? The speaker was, of course, Lu Zhaohe. Bai Pu angrily retorted, What's mischievous? Is there something wrong with your eyes? Lu Zhao, he didn't speak, just stared intently at Bai Pu. Bai Pu instantly felt invisible pressure. She could only laugh nervously. I mean, Mr. Lu, you work too hard. Your eyes might be tired. I'm just concerned about you. I knew you had ulterior motives. Unexpectedly, Lu Zhao, he coughed lightly and moved closer to Bai Hu. I do have a special way to rest. Want to try it together? What? Bai Hu was confused before she could finish speaking. The next second, Lu Zhao kissed her. Bai Hu pushed against his chest, finally understanding what he meant by rest. Since the office was semi-open, their intimate research gave Bai Pu a different sensation. After they finished, Bai Pu said irritably, You came here just to kiss me? Are you obsessed with me? Lu Zhaohe, still unsatisfied, replied, Didn't you post that moment to lure me here? Hearing about the social media post, Bai Pu panicked. She'd been too caught up in the moment and forgotten about her senior coming. Quickly checking her messages, she saw he had been waiting for a while. Bai Pu hurriedly put on her clothes. Lu Zhao, he teased. In such a hurry? Running to your next appointment. You guessed it. Bai Pu rushed out anxiously. At the cafe, she found her senior, who had been waiting for a long time. Bai Pu, maintaining her composure, said she lost track of time. Senior Mu Qingyu said it was fine. Then they walked into the restaurant together. However, there was a car parked on the street at that moment. Bai Pu sat down by the window, and as she was admiring the street view, she suddenly made eye contact with the car's owner's silhouette. Startled, it was Lu Zhaohe. Why was he here too? Bai Pu encountered Lu Zhaohe again. This guy really seized every opportunity to kiss her without thinking twice. Just now, Bai Pu was looking at Lu Zhaohe outside the window. Her distraction made her senior confused. What's wrong? Is the food not to your taste? No. Bai Pu quickly looked away from the window and at the exquisite dinner before her. Not at all. I really like today's dessert. Really? Then have more. Once my house is ready, I'll invite you and Xiao Ran for dinner. I'll cook. Bai Pu was very happy. Sure, see you then. I'll bring some kitchen utensils for you, senior. The man looked at Bai Pu across the table, smiling beautifully. Just as he reached out his hand, about to confess to Bai Pu's phone suddenly rang. The man awkwardly withdrew his hand. The message was from Jiang Ling. Reading the message, Bai Pu thought, he's testing me again. Tonight he wants to sneak out to find Shen Lu. Jiang Ling said Shen Lu's bed was broken and needed a new one. Bai Pu replied, offering to go along. You've treated me like a fool time and again. This time I'll play along properly. She immediately told her senior she had something to do and needed to leave. Then Bai Pu waved goodbye to her senior and left. The next moment, Bai Pu and Jiang Ling arrived at the furniture mall. Jiang Ling was quite gloomy. You work such long hours, yet you're coming with me to look at beds. Once my project is done, I won't let you work anymore. Meanwhile, Jiang Ling started his playboy act again, saying the company was in trouble. Bai Pu thought, he's trying to scam money from me again. After giving him money so many times before, Bai Pu decided to set a trap for Jiang Ling. As they were about to look at beds, they suddenly saw a familiar figure. He paused. Wasn't that Jiang Ling? Looking in the same direction, she was surprised too. It was her young uncle. Could it be the woman from his room that night? Seems uncle already has a girlfriend. She was curious and prepared to go say hello. But Bai Pu didn't want to meet Lu Zhaohe in this situation. She grabbed Jiang Ling. Oh, they look very happy together. Let's not disturb them. Shortly after they turned away, Lu Zhaohe seemed to sense something. He turned to look at the beautiful woman beside him, asking gently, "What's wrong?" Lu Zhaohe said, "Nothing. I've seen enough. I'll go buy cigarettes and wait for you in the parking lot. I'll drive you home." The woman responded sweetly, "Okay, go ahead." Meanwhile, Jiang Ling and Bai Pu had decided on a bed to buy. Jiang Ling went to pay while Bai Pu said she'd wait in the parking lot. Bai Pu had just taken the elevator to B1. Suddenly someone grabbed her arm. Then she was pushed against a corner wall with a tall figure pressing against her. Without a word, he kissed her lips. Bai Pu and Lu Zhaohe were getting bolder, daring to do this with just a wall between them and Jiang Ling. This feeling seemed addictive, falling deeper and deeper. Just now, when Bai Pu arrived at the parking lot, Lu Zhaohe had immediately pushed her against the wall. He kissed her passionately and fiercely. After a long moment of intimacy, Bai Pu played with the hem of Lu Zhaohe's clothes. "Was that really you earlier, Mr. Lu? Seeing you with that woman, I thought I was mistaken. Didn't think you'd have the same taste as Jiang Ling." Lu Zhaohe explored her from bottom to top. "Does it bother you?" Bai Pu felt like he'd hit a nerve. Her heart fluttered, and she immediately countered, "Whether I care or not, does it matter to you?" Lu Zhaohe chuckled. "No, it doesn't." "Then why ask such meaningless questions? It's not like you, Mr. Lu. After all, we're not lovers or even having an affair. Whatever women you have around you has nothing to do with me. What am I like then?" As soon as he spoke, his lips drew close, maintaining a breath's distance. Without any more intense moves, it felt even more seductive and teasing. Bai Pu felt her whole body going weak from his teasing. Just then, Jiang Ling suddenly appeared in the basement. Bai Pu caught sight of Jiang Ling from the corner of her eye. Terrified, she struggled frantically, trying to escape Lu Zhaohe's grasp. Lu Zhaohe was completely carried away, not caring about anything. "What are you afraid of? It's not our first time. Isn't this more exciting?" Then he leaned in again, sealing her lips with another kiss. Knowing Jiang Ling could come by any time, and his girlfriend might be nearby, this tension mixed with irresistible temptation was absolutely thrilling. The next second, Bai Pu's phone rang. Bai Pu nervously tried to push Lu Zhaohe away. Lu Zhaohe, like a greedy child unwilling to let go, casually took out Bai Pu's phone to check. It was a message from Jiang Ling saying he had to leave early. "See? I told you it was fine." Bai Pu finally realized he had been deliberately torturing her. She kicked towards Lu Zhaohe's tormenting part, turning to leave immediately. "You player, you have a girlfriend. Stay away from me. I won't be the other woman." Indeed, the whole Jiang Ling family was just a collection of players. I should complete my mission quickly and stay away from this scumbag. Early the next morning, Bai Pu drove to Yunsheng Pharmaceutical Factory. Finally found this ghostly place. Why is there no one living nearby? Bai Pu cleverly avoided the cameras. Just as she was about to enter through the back door, she suddenly heard a noisy crowd. "Hurry up, all of you! Move faster! Haven't you eaten?" Bai Pu peeked. It was medical wastewater. They were dumping it directly into the river. No wonder the exhaust fumes weren't thick. All the real waste was being dumped here. She found a mineral water bottle and collected some of the polluted river water for testing to see which harmful substances exceeded standards. Just as she tightened the bottle cap, there was movement behind the wall. "Mr. Lu, this way please." Hearing Lu, Bai Pu's heart skipped a beat. The next second, a familiar deep male voice reached her ears. "Is everyone in the conference room?" Bai Pu investigated secretly. Cheng Chuan was being threatened. After Bai Hua found out, she confronted Bai Pu. "You don't visit all year round, brother. You should change your surname. You're clearly a black-hearted grape." Just then, a familiar voice reached Bai Pu's ears. When she turned to look, it was Lu Zhao. She tripped on a small stone, but quickly steadied herself against the wall to avoid falling. A stern voice came from inside. "You too, go check over there." Bai Pu's heart jumped to her throat. Even a tiny pebble could be heard. These people must have satellite dishes for ears. The footsteps were getting closer. Just as they were about to turn the corner and discover her, Lu Xiaohe's voice rang out again. Just a stray cat. Dad, why so nervous? The meeting time is almost up. All right, everyone come back, called out their impatient handler. Then, very respectfully, Mr. Lu, please this way. My apologies for the delay. Please forgive me. As he went in, Lu Xiaohe glanced in Bai Pu's direction. Only after everyone had entered the meeting room did Bai Pu finally breathe a sigh of relief and quickly ran towards the exit. Once outside, Bai Pu exclaimed, "Holy shit, that was terrifying. If it weren't for Lu Xiaohe, she would have been discovered. But why was he there? Was it coincidence, or had he discovered her?" She then rushed back to the city and sent the collected river water to the testing facility. However, it would take at least several hours for the results to come back. Just then, Bai Pu's phone rang. Department Chief Xie Fong said seriously, "Bai Pu, I'm at the office. Come see me immediately." Soon after, Bai Pu arrived at the chief's office. Upon entering, Bai Pu quickly said, "Chief, perfect timing. I have news about Yunsheng." Before she could finish, Xie Fong interrupted her. "Listen to me first. Look at this. You've been discovered." Bai Pu looked closely. They were photos of her at Yunsheng, with blood-red text warning, "Continue investigating and die." It was a blatant threat. Xie Fong, very concerned for her safety, strongly demanded Bai Pu stop the investigation and hand over all related materials. Seeing the chief's firm stance, Bai Pu tried to placate her. "Yes, Chief. Chief, there's quite a bit of material. Give me some time. I'll take my leave now, you're busy." Watching Bai Pu leave, Xie Fong remained worried. Bai Pu was clearly not one to give up easily. She made a phone call. "Bai Hua, listen, there's something I must tell you." Meanwhile, Bai Pu, still thinking about the test results, found a cafe near the testing facility to wait. Giving up was impossible. While waiting for the test results, she decided to look up information about Cheng Chuan online, searching for any breakthrough. Just then, a handsome man was watching Bai Pu. As he approached, Bai Pu looked up. Surprised, she said, "Brother, why are you here?" It was Bai Pu's brother, Bai Hua, CEO of the Bai Group. Bai Hua pretended to be dissatisfied. "From your tone, you don't welcome your brother?" Bai Pu quickly closed her laptop, laughing. "Whether I welcome you or not is uncertain, but the owner certainly does." "Waiter, add a Blue Mountain coffee." It was Bai Hua's only favorite coffee. Hearing this, Bai Hua's cold expression immediately softened. He reached out to pinch Bai Pu's nose. "If I didn't come find you, I wouldn't see you even once a year." "Little Bai Pu, how can you be so heartless? You should change your surname. You're clearly a black-hearted grape. For changing surnames, you'll have to talk to Dad," Bai Pu hummed. "Brother, let go. If you don't let go, my recent nose job will need to be redone." Jiang Ling asked Bai Pu, "You've had deep contact with Uncle. What do you think of him?" Bai Pu thought, "We indeed have very deep contact." Could it be that Jiang Ling had discovered their relationship? Just moments ago, Bai Hua was affectionately pinching Bai Pu's nose. Bai Pu hummed, "If you don't let go, my recent nose job will need to be redone." Bai Hua instinctively let go quickly. "When did you get that done? That procedure has infection risks. How dare you not tell me beforehand?" As soon as he finished speaking, Bai Pu burst into laughter, and Bai Hua realized he'd been tricked. Bai Hua sighed in relief. "This trick again? Is this fun for you?" "Well, you fall for it every time. Tell me, did you suddenly come because the department chief said something?" When Bai Hua didn't deny it, Bai Pu knew for sure. After all, Xie Fong wasn't just her department chief, but also Bai Hua's mentor's wife. Bai Hua was extremely doting towards his sister Bai Pu. He then seriously told Bai Pu, "Master's wife asked me to talk to you. Be honest with me. What have you been up to lately?" Bai Pu felt relieved. The chief indeed maintained her professional integrity, not saying anything she shouldn't. "Brother, you'll definitely support me, right? This is my job. You know I really love it. It's just that this task is a bit special. The chief thinks it's not suitable for me." "Brother, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Please don't stop me, okay?" Bai Hua couldn't resist Bai Pu's pleading. "Fine, I won't stop you this time. But how do I explain this to Master's wife?" Bai Pu immediately smiled happily. "Just tell her I've listened to you both. Don't worry, I'll work behind the scenes. You're just trying to make me your partner in crime." Just then, a voice interrupted them. "Bao, you're really here." Bai Pu looked up to see Jiang Ling. "How did he know I was here?" The next moment, Jiang Ling walked over quickly. "Baby, I called you so many times. Why didn't you answer? Fortunately, I saw your car outside. Otherwise, I was about to call the police." "Ah, Brother Hua, you're here too? Am I interrupting?" Bai Hua replied. You're concerned about little Pooh. How could I mind? Thanks for always looking after her. With her carelessness, she might really go missing without anyone knowing. Jiang Ling immediately put his arm around Bai Poo's shoulders. She's just a bit absent-minded. No worries if she goes missing once. I'll find her once. One had to admit, Jiang Ling's player talk was quite smooth. Bai Hua nodded approvingly. Only you don't mind her quirks. Hee hee, after all, she's my treasure. By the way, brother, are you free now? I'd like to discuss something. For Bai Poo's sake. Though Bai Hua wasn't as gentle with Jiang Ling as he was with Bai Poo, he was still mild. Of course, go ahead. Jiang Ling immediately poured tea for Bai Hua, explaining that he recently negotiated with a medical company to order some medical equipment, but the investor backed out. I need 60 million in funding. I can't come up with that much cash at once. To reassure Bai Hua, Jiang Ling showed confidence. This company is very capable, backed by Chun Chuan Pharmaceuticals. It's definitely profitable. Brother, if you're willing to help, after the project, you can take 60% of the profits. I'll take 40%, even 30% is fine. Bai Poo, already suspicious of Jiang Ling, became more concerned upon hearing Chun Chuan's involvement. Bai Hua was also surprised. No wonder you're so keen. It does sound tempting. Let me discuss it with my father, since 60 million isn't a small amount. Of course, I'll wait for your good news. Jiang Ling was so excited, as if the 60 million was already in his pocket. Brother, it's almost dinner time. There's a Cantonese restaurant nearby. Let Bai Poo and I treat you. Bai Poo immediately questioned Jiang Ling. Didn't you say you don't like Cantonese food? How do you know about this restaurant? Who did you eat there with? Hearing this, Jiang Ling quickly moved closer to Bai Poo. Who else? Just company colleagues. What? Is my baby jealous? Don't worry, besides you, I don't have time to dine with anyone else. Seeing Jiang Ling's nauseating behavior, Bai Poo quickly pretended to be angry and pushed him away. Bai Hua, drinking tea at the time, watched them, treating it as just casual couples banter. He casually asked, You've been working at Chinchuan for a while now. How do you find it? When Jiang Ling heard Chun Chuan, his gaze suddenly shifted. Bai Poo also shot him an unexpected glare, thinking, even hot tea can't stop your mouth. Then naturally replied, It's okay, just normal. But Bai Hua continued asking, What about Lu Zhao? He's not easy to get along with. And you're his assistant. Has he given you any trouble? Bai Poo was speechless. Her brother really had no filter. Jiang Ling became restless hearing this. Wait, Xiaofu, you've been at Chinchuan every day with Uncle? At this point, Bai Poo calmly said, I was there for work originally. Didn't expect Uncle to suddenly appear and become my boss. In her mind, she thought, You nasty player. Why are you acting like you caught me cheating? Jiang Ling's smile had disappeared. Why didn't you mention this before? Because I'm investigating a case, Bai Poo said impatiently. You forgot about the nature of my work? The fewer people know, the better. As Jiang Ling tried to ask more, Bai Hua spoke seriously. At Chinchuan, don't touch what you shouldn't. Bai Poo assured, I'm just doing routine investigation. The financial accounts are almost done. I'll probably withdraw soon. Brother, I'll need your help cleaning up after. Then Bai Hua stood up. Cleaning up is no big deal. Just be careful. I have work to do. I'm leaving. We'll have dinner another time. Then Bai Hua drove away. As soon as Bai Hua left, Jiang Ling acted like a jealous wife. Bai Poo, you've worked with my uncle for a while, must have had deep contact. What do you think of him? As soon as he finished speaking, Bai Poo recalled her deep interactions with Lu Zhao. Indeed, we had very deep contact. Su Shaoran felt Bai Poo had really fallen for Lu Zhao. What do you think? Lu Zhao called Bai Poo late at night. Coincidentally, a romantic movie was playing on TV. Lu Zhao mistakenly thought Bai Poo was on a date with someone else and angrily hung up. Just now, this jerk asked Bai Poo what she thought of his uncle. Bai Poo thought, Uncle is much better than you in temperament, stamina, and every other aspect. Then she pretended to be annoyed and said, Your uncle is really too cold. I thought since we knew each other, he might help me out, but he showed no mercy. This acting immediately made Jiang Ling's cold expression fade, and he smiled. That's just how Uncle is. He's cold to everyone. Don't take it personally. I don't care. The mission is ending soon anyway. I won't have to see his cold face anymore. Bai Poo acted like she couldn't wait to leave. This performance completely dispelled Jiang Ling's suspicions. Bai Poo was quite pleased to have him wrapped around her finger. The next second, Jiang Ling took Bai Poo's hand. Let's go home. Bai Poo looked at the jerk in front of her, thinking, Go home? You wish I'd roll in bed with you, player. Then she started using his own tactics against him. Babe, I forgot to tell you. I'm going to Sharon's place tonight. We already made plans. You don't mind, right? Jiang Ling asked suspiciously. Just Su Shaoran? Bai Poo nodded. blinking her innocent peach blossom eyes. Of course, we're having a girls' night talk. Soon after, Bai Pu arrived at Su Xiaoran's place. Bai Pu and Xiaoran discussed Jiang Ling's expression tonight, how he seemed to have discovered her secret with Lu Xiaohe. Things have come to this point. Aren't you going to confront that jerk? Bai Pu shook her head. Not yet. The legal representative hasn't changed. I can't break with him so quickly. I'll strike hard after the legal representative changes. How could you fall in love back then? Investing money in him and becoming his legal representative? He's not even 1 out of 10 as good as Lu Xiaohe. Speaking of Lu Xiaohe, I still find it strange. He seems to predict my every move. And I think he's been at Chinchuan for too long. When I was investigating Chinchuan, he parachuted in. And now that I'm investigating Yunxi, he coincidentally goes there too. Something feels off about him. Hearing this, Su Xiaoran immediately began her analysis. Let me tell you, him parachuting into Chinchuan could mean 2 things. First, he's an undercover like you. Second, he might be the biggest behind-the-scenes player at Chinchuan. I heard he plays both sides, not really a respectable person. Whether it's Disney or not, be careful when dealing with him. Playing both sides? Bai Pu broke into a cold sweat. How dare I play around with him then? After speaking, Su Xiaoran went to shower. Bai Pu was watching drama in the living room when her phone suddenly rang. Looking at it, it was Lu Xiaohe. This old pervert, always haunting me. Why is he calling so late? Just as she was about to hang up, a message popped up. Answer, or I'll dock your pay. After answering, Lu Xiaohe urgently asked where she was. Damn, does he want to hook up again? At a friend's house. Which friend's house at this hour? Just as Bai Pu was about to speak. In the TV drama, the male lead was passionately saying to the woman, "Baby, I love you. Can I kiss you?" It transmitted clearly to the other end. Seems you have quite an active nightlife. Bang! He hung up. Bai Pu instantly raged. What's wrong with him? Where I am and what I'm doing is none of his business. Just then, Su Xiaoran came out fresh from her shower. Was that Lu Xiaohe? Calling so late. Does he want to cuddle and kiss? Bai Pu waved her hand. What nonsense. How could he possibly ask me out? Su Xiaoran leaned closer to Bai Pu. Couldn't help but smile. It really was him. Seems Lu Xiaohe isn't so tough after all. Even heroes fall for beauty. Bai Pu warned seriously. You can eat carelessly, but can't speak carelessly. Su Xiaoran stopped smiling and said seriously, look at you, so nervous you can't even speak properly. Little grape, you haven't really fallen for Lu Xiaohe, have you? You know which kind of like I mean. Do you think Bai Pu has fallen for Lu Xiaohe? Uncle called Bai Pu to his office. Just as Bai Pu entered, before she could lock the door, Uncle pushed Bai Pu onto the desk and domineeringly kissed her lips. Just then, Jiang Ling came in. This was too embarrassing. Last time, when Su Xiaoran asked Bai Pu, you haven't really fallen for Lu Xiaohe, have you? Bai Pu's face immediately tensed up. After several deep interactions with Uncle, there were indeed some feelings in her heart. But thinking of Lu Xiaohe's previous gentle date with that woman, she felt somewhat lost. She said, Xiaoran, you're overthinking. He has a girlfriend. As Su Xiaoran wanted to ask more, Bai Pu immediately cut her off. All right, it's late. Let's sleep. At this moment, Xiaoran looked at Bai Hu's reaction with concern, truly hoping Bai Hu wouldn't get hurt again. Lying in bed, Bai Hu couldn't sleep at all. She took out her phone and opened Lu Xiaohe's WeChat, unconsciously clicking on his moments. Why doesn't his WeChat have anything related to his life? Could it be an alternate account? Could he be using an alternate account to add me? Main account for girlfriend monitoring, alternate account for flirting? Isn't this typical player behavior? Lu Xiaohe is indeed a scumbag. Bai Pu was so angry she couldn't sleep. Little Bai Pu was jealous. The next day at Chunchuan Pharmaceuticals, due to poor sleep last night, Bai Pu looked listless. Just then, a colleague told Bai Pu that Mr. Lu was looking for her. The next second, Bai Pu arrived at Lu Xiaohe's office. Mr. Lu. Before she could finish saying, you were looking for me, Lu Xiaohe, that guy with no manners, grabbed Bai Pu, pulling her forward. Had fun last night? Although the office door was closed, it wasn't locked. You're making me nervous. Don't do anything rash, it's broad daylight, she said while pushing against his chest. At this moment, how could Bai Pu escape? The next second, Lu Xiaohe leaned closer to Bai Pu. Then he domineeringly kissed her. Bai Pu struggled desperately. Let me go. The anxious Bai Pu used all her strength. After breaking free, Lu Xiaohe smirked. What's this? Had enough these past few days? Learning to resist now. Bai Pu wasn't on the same wavelength as him at all. She only understood the literal meaning. Of course I'm full. Even if I wasn't full, I can still resist. Uncle, are you there? Jiang Ling's voice suddenly came from outside. Bai Pu was startled. Why was Jiang Ling here? Getting no response from outside, Jiangling called again, "Uncle, I'm coming in." Bai Pu's heart nearly jumped out. The next second, the door was pushed open. Jiangling casually scanned the room upon entering. Lu Xiaohe impatiently glanced at him. "Why are you here?" Jiangling noticed Uncle's disheveled clothes and the red marks on his lips. Jiangling looked around and asked, "Uncle, are you dating someone recently?" Lu Xiaohe couldn't be bothered to respond, adjusting his tie. "What do you want?" "Nothing much. I brought Pu Tao's favorite cake and wanted to visit Uncle." While speaking, he suddenly stepped forward, getting closer to the desk. At this moment, Bai Pu was hiding behind the desk. Her heart was pounding like drums in her ears. Just as Jiangling was about to get close to where Bai Pu was, Lu Xiao blocked him. "No need for a visit. I have urgent matters to handle," he said coldly. "No need to see me out," Jiangling said with a smile. "All right, since you're busy, I'll leave first." He politely added, "By the way, Uncle, have you eaten? I brought cake for Pu Tao. Would you like to try some?" "Don't leave." It was clear that Lu Xiaohe had lost his patience. Jiangling had to tactfully turn to leave. Just as he reached the door, Jiangling suddenly turned back. "Uncle, this perfume scent is so familiar. It's very similar to what our Pu Tao usually wears." Jiangling suddenly came looking for little Pu Tao. Little Pu Tao hid under the desk. This position was too suggestive. What's worse, Xin Lu was actually pregnant. Last time when Jiangling came looking for Bai Pu, just as he was about to leave, he caught a familiar scent. The scent in Uncle's office is so familiar, just like what our Pu Tao usually uses. Though it seemed like a casual remark, there was deep suspicion in his eyes. Lu Xiaohe remained calm, saying, "Bai Pu is my assistant. She frequently comes to my office. It must be her scent. Is there a problem?" Jiangling was clearly suspicious, but had no evidence. He could only say there was no problem. "I was just saying, let me call Pu Tao first. Tell her I brought cake." At this moment, Bai Pu was still under the desk. Hearing this, she thought, "Oh no," and quickly took out her phone, swiftly switching it to silent mode. Due to Bai Pu's quick movement, it made a slight noise. Jiangling alertly asked, "What's that sound?" His gaze swept toward the area under the desk. This time, Bai Pu was trembling with fear. This was way too intense. Lu Xiaohe, being a seasoned veteran, remained perfectly calm. He directly pulled over the swivel chair and sat down, showing an impatient tone. "Jiangling, I have an important meeting. If you want to find your wife, do it at home. Don't come to the company for personal matters in the future. Get out now." His blunt tone instantly wiped the smile off Jiangling's face. He could only nod and say, "All right, I'll ask around elsewhere. Won't disturb Uncle's work anymore." After speaking, he turned and took a deep look behind Lu Xiaohe. From this angle, he couldn't see under the desk. The moment the office door closed, Bai Pu finally breathed a sigh of relief. Her legs went weak. She collapsed on the ground, sitting between Lu Xiaohe's legs. Bai Pu's face immediately turned red. God, this position is too suggestive. She hurriedly pushed away his legs and tried to get up, but her legs were numb from crouching too long. She fell right into Lu Xiaohe's arms. Lu Xiaohe quickly embraced little Pu Tao, smirking at her. "So proactive. Want to continue with the next steps? I always thought only puppies could get excited anytime, anywhere. Didn't expect Mr. Lu to be so talented in this area." "Really? But don't you love my puppy style?" Lu Xiaohe stared at little Pu Tao's exposed shoulder, feeling quite stirred up. Seeing his expression, Bai Pu quickly got up. "Your mind is full of dirty thoughts. You're hopeless." Afraid that the old pervert Lu Xiaohe couldn't control himself, she quickly turned to leave. At the door, she turned back. "Almost forgot to remind Mr. Lu, crossing your legs too much not only causes varicose veins, but also affects the prostate. Mr. Lu should take care of his body. After all, health is the foundation of revolution." After saying that, she slammed the door shut and left. Lu Xiaohe chuckled. "This can't be true, right?" He quickly uncrossed his legs. Can't let anything affect future deep interactions. When Bai Pu returned to her desk, she saw the cake Jiangling had brought. Just then, he sent a message. "Just brought you cake, but couldn't find you. I have something to do, so I left. Remember to eat the cake." But this visit was probably to remind her about the investment matter. She casually threw the cake in the trash. I've only been gone for 2 days, and he's already this anxious. Looks like I need to settle the legal representative matter soon. The next second, her phone rang. As soon as she answered, she heard Xiao ran anxiously saying, "Oh no, I just saw Shen Lu and Jiang Ling at the hospital. What kind of illness? Don't tell me someone has a serious condition? That would be worth celebrating." Holy shit, they were at the obstetrics department. Hearing obstetrics, Bai Pu frowned. Shen Lu is pregnant? Are you sure you didn't see wrong? No way. You should have seen how nervous Jiang Ling was today. Shen Lu almost made me sick looking at her. No wonder she moved out so decisively. It was to make pregnancy easier. I want to see how Jiang Ling explains this when her belly gets bigger. By the way, Bao Muqing said to have dinner at her new house tonight for housewarming. Since going home would just upset you anyway, I accepted for you. I'll pick you up after work. Bai Pu nodded without hesitation, saying okay. After hanging up the phone, Bai Pu angrily slammed her phone on the desk. Shen Lu is actually pregnant. She dared to get pregnant. Even if Jiang Ling doesn't have a girlfriend, he's still Jiang Ling's son. They even dared to get pregnant. How could they be so reckless? Bai Pu felt a fire burning in her chest, about to burst out. Jiang Ling, Shen Lu, I'll make you pay for this. The man tightly held her hand, eagerly wanting to. This was their first date. The flutter and shyness made Bai Pu feel lost. However, in the dead of night, the man actually wanted to silence her forever. The story began the day before. Bai Pu had just finished a risky encounter with her uncle when she heard extremely disgusting news. Her fiancé was expecting a child with his mother. They were mother and son, yet they dared to be so blatant. Wonder if the child should call him son or brother when born. This news impacted Bai Pu more than expected. It wasn't that she still cared, she just felt sick, thinking about where Jiang Ling had held her hand before made her feel dirty. After work, Su Xiaoran took her to their senior's house for dinner. First, to comfort her mood. Second, Su Xiaoran wanted to match them up. With the table full of dishes, Su Xiaoran felt the luxury. From casual chat, they learned that Senior's company recently secured a medical equipment project. Backed by Chengchuan subsidiary, the returns were considerable. Bai Pu was slightly stunned hearing this. A Yinchuan subsidiary cooperating on medical equipment with a large contract amount. Isn't this what Jiang Lin wanted Bai family to invest in? What a coincidence. Even more coincidentally, their project had a guarantee company. It was Linjiang Capital, and the legal representative was Bai Pu's name. At the time, Mu Qingyan thought it was just someone with the same name, so didn't pay much attention. After getting Bai Pu's confirmation, Mu Qingyan's cheeks reddened. So may I ask, what's your relationship with Jiang Ling now? Bai Pu didn't know how to answer for a moment. Su Xiaoran quickly spoke up, ex-boyfriend. He didn't know how to cherish and wronged our good Bai Pu. Mu Qingyun subtly breathed a sigh of relief. During this time, she kept stealing glances at Bai Pu. Until after several drinks, Mu Qingyun finally gathered courage to say, I'll send you home later. I have something to do near your place. Bai Pu tilted her head. What could you have to do so late? Seeing this, Su Xiaoran gave her an intense eye signal. Idiot, she's just making an excuse to send you home. Bai Pu finally realized, if they were just friends, she could act naturally. But Su Xiaoran kept pushing things in a romantic direction. After a moment of silence, she agreed. After getting off, Mu Qingyun watched Bai Pu leave. Shortly after walking away, Bai Pu felt something was wrong. She felt like someone was following her, so she opened. The front camera indeed caught a fleeting shadow behind her. Bai Pu, nerves tense, quickly entered the building entrance. The man's hands had thick calluses, appearing rough and strong. Under his hood was a baseball cap, head lowered, features hidden. He watched the moving elevator finally stop at the 11th floor. Once confirmed, he quickly pursued. Shortly after the elevator doors closed, Bai Pu quietly emerged from the nearby fire escape. She was covered in cold sweat, rushing to get out, constantly looking back to check. But the next second she bumped into someone, instantly getting goosebumps. Almost screaming, "Don't be afraid. It's me." It was Mu Qingyun. Bai Pu swallowed her dry throat. "Why are you here? Didn't you leave?" Mu Qingyun suddenly grabbed Bai Pu's hand. "I was about to leave, but saw a suspicious figure following you. I was worried, so I came to check." She kept glancing back while speaking. "Have you offended anyone recently?" At this moment, an image flashed through Bai Pu's mind. Could they be resorting to violence after failing to threaten her? Coming to her senses, she realized Senior was still holding her hand. She awkwardly withdrew it. "Let's go up and talk. I'm afraid he might come back." Mu Qingyun looked at her empty hand, said nothing, and followed behind. Only after entering her building did Bai Pu finally breathe a sigh of relief. But Mu Qingyun's expression remained stern. Have you been stalked before? As a journalist, she had experienced paint throwing, tire slashing, and similar incidents many times. But she didn't plan to tell Mu Qingyun. They chatted for a while longer. Suddenly, Mu Qingyun blushed. Are you alone at home? Bai Pu's eyes widened at these words. Mu Qingyun awkwardly scratched her head, saying she was just concerned for Bai Pu's safety. If no one was home, she could get a room nearby. Bai Pu could feel her genuine concern, but it was late and she didn't want to make more trouble. After saying goodbye, she turned and went home. Mu Qingyun stood downstairs for a long time, until the lights in Bai Pu's room went out, and there was no sound of anyone rushing up the stairs. Only then did she silently turn and leave. In the pitch-black night, like a lurking beast, Bai Pu ran frantically in her pajamas. But that man kept following steadily behind her. The next moment he suddenly appeared before her, his face gloomy and cold. The woman and uncle had just entered the room. She was eagerly pushed down immediately. Rhythmic sounds echoed throughout the room. 1 minute later, Uncle slowly lit a cigarette. That thrilling sensation made them both lose themselves. However, just last night, Bai Pu was relentlessly chased by a man in black, until she was cornered. Then her throat was firmly gripped. The strong, firm hands made her whole body tremble. The man's mocking voice was filled with contempt. Bai Pu struggled to look up and met Uncle's gloomy face. The next moment she suddenly woke up. The lingering fear in her heart wouldn't dissipate. Unexpectedly, being mocked by Lu Zhao during the day was one thing, but to be humiliated even in her dreams. Though dreams reflect daily thoughts, Uncle did seem connected to the case she was investigating. Perhaps he was even the mastermind behind it. Recalling those scenes between them each time, she felt inexplicably afraid again. Afraid that he was truly a corrupt person playing both sides. Thanks to this dream, she was distracted at work the next day. She didn't even react when documents were placed before her, only coming to her senses at the woman's second call. Mr. Liu has a meeting soon. These are the materials needed for the meeting. Organize them and give them to him later. When she saw the words, Yun Sheng, her gaze suddenly froze. She had been worried about finding a chance to see if recent events were related to Lu Zhao, and now an opportunity had arrived. Moments later, Lu Zhao walked out of his office. Bai Pu quickly followed, then handed over the materials. Mr. Liu, could you take me with you to the meeting? Lu Zhao's tone lifted slightly. Why should I take you? Bai Pu replied smoothly. I'm your assistant. I can drive for you, take meeting minutes, things like that. Lu Zhao suddenly leaned in. So you're planning to serve me? At times like this, it's best to be diplomatic. As long as he agreed to take her, she'd agree to whatever he said. Then Bai Pu's lips curved into a smile. You could say that. Lu Zhao said, whatever, and turned to leave. Bai Pu clearly hadn't expected him to agree so readily, so she quickly followed him out. Bai Pu instinctively went to open the back passenger door, but she heard Lu Zhao's sarcastic voice. Weren't you going to drive? Bai Pu immediately transformed into an eager secretary. Yes, Mr. Liu. After getting in the car, seeing him fasten his seatbelt without movement, Lu Zhao mocked again. What are you spacing out for? Do I need to teach you how to drive? At this moment, the atmosphere in the car had subtly changed. Bai Pu cleared her throat to break the awkwardness. Somehow, the words drive coming from Lu Zhao's mouth made her imagination run wild. Bai Pu drove like lightning, arriving at the destination 56 minutes later. As soon as Lu Zhao got out, someone came to greet him. Everything's ready inside, Mr. Liu. Would you like to rest in your room first, or go straight to the meeting? Lu Zhao glanced subtly at Bai Pu, indicating he'd go to the room to drop off luggage first. Bai Pu was suddenly alarmed. Wasn't this just a meeting? No one told her they'd be staying overnight. Was it too late to run now? Mr. Liu, I have something to— Before she could finish, Lu Zhao deliberately called out loudly, Assistant Bai, help me take my luggage to my room. Then 2 room cards were handed to her. Seeing the 2 facing room numbers, Bai Pu unexpectedly blushed. This bastard definitely had ulterior motives. After bringing the luggage to the room, Bai Pu was about to leave, but suddenly Lu Zhao pinned her against the door. The next moment his thin lips crashed down, catching Bai Pu off guard, making her let out a muffled groan. Lu Zhao spoke with interest, moaning so loud. Do you want them to hear? Come to think of it, our rooms are like that time in Baisa, facing each other. It makes me quite nostalgic. Speaking of which, the scene at the cemetery with Lily flashed in Bai Pu's mind. Uncle teased, Are you also reminiscing about our first time in Baisa? Bai Pu's heart skipped a beat, but she firmly denied it. Then why are you blushing? I'm just hot. The weather's too hot. Lu Zhao stared until she felt creepy all over. She couldn't help but want to escape. After all, with his temperament, if she got pinned down, he'd make her bones ache again. She hadn't realized her lipstick was smeared. Going out like this would definitely raise suspicions. Lu Zhao lit a cigarette and sat down. With your courage, where did you get the nerve to come along? Bai Pu paused. What did he mean by that? Was he mocking her for offering to serve him, then chickening out? Or warning her she shouldn't have come to such a place? But she pretended to be calm. Am I afraid? Don't you prefer these nervous reactions? Lu Zhao suddenly changed the subject. Clean up the suitcase before you leave. Bai Pu cursed the bastard internally. If he wanted her to work, he should just say so directly instead of being all fancy about it.